Okay. He did say 3 times the charm. I'm still somewhat unoptimistic. 1, once again, is working. 2. Finally. Okay, you go to hell. You get loaded. Now, let's see how this looks here. Pretty good. No, that's actually better that it's loaded this. Because, you know, it's kind of just the smallest bit annoying. Okay, I think I have restored order. This be good. This be very good. Now that we have order once again. Yeah, this is working too. Finally. Oh, can't is actually true what they say. Listen and listen well. 3 times is indeed the charm. Hardly. Europe has been giving me some small headaches lately. Admittedly. Well, there was precisely 2 with this one, but that is more headache than I'm used to. I really don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Actually, it's changed this to the live chat. But for some statistical reason, if you let that setting on top chat, it's kinda... It feels like it's actually trying to actively censor you. I don't know why. It's just a feeling I have. Feels very much like it. Let's not go into detail that so. Now then, Rabam. Well, we can play games again. Now then. As you might remember from the last time, or if not, well, that's not much of a problem. But half the reason why I'm here, to explain to you what has happened. We have continued on a grand journey through all of the lands. We have pretty much dealt with everything we can. We are supposed to be meeting with the Queen, of course. And, well, Arkamaya. Well, supposed to being the case. And right in the middle of it we have decided to go about a bit and, you know, find some cool things to do. Now, since this quest is still considered somewhat high level, mind you, we might do it at a later date, but for the moment we're trying to finish off this quadrant of the map. And then this quadrant of the map, and then we'll continue on to Nikachaka and probably collect a few bounties and I guess we could meet with Arkamaya. I'm sure he's gonna be very pleased after our little break-in into his abode. Yeah, he's gonna love us for that, isn't he? But yeah, since we now basically have all of the things open and we can actually reasonably deal with most of them, you know, there should not be any building unidentified location. That's interesting. Seems to be an unidentified location. I should probably look into that. But yeah, there's basically nothing at all around that should be unbeatable for us. I did look into those very hard ones that are still around, and they're basically after endgame challenges if you desire so. Maze of Dumbo, yeah, I remember you. Can't lift that thing because I'm too dumb to do it. Okay. Now then. First quest of the day. Let's see us getting murdered by a mage. I'm assuming a mage because, you know, called an observatory. Who else would have a freaking observatory than a bloody mage? And it usually means spells. And spells usually mean horror. And yeah. Long story short, that's gonna hurt. A lot. But oh well. First things first, do quick save.
Why not?
Then the music is like, well,
Sure.
feebleness here. Be prepared for evilness. Good thing is I'm more than prepared for evil. Retreat! All heroically. Let it come to you. If it actually can, that is. It's like, well, we are still considered to be in war. He really loves that spell though, doesn't he? Torn Banner, man. Hey, I met you in the first one, didn't I? Actually, yeah, I did, in the white... In the white expansion, I forgot its name. The White Marches? Yes, the White Marches. What do you mean it didn't work? You murdering him. Okay, I'm getting into a bit of trouble here. Tis as good a time as any to summon help. Game is like, no, I don't like this. Okay.
That's not very helpful.
Many things are right now not very helpful, I would assume.
Let's do this. Let's go.
Sometimes the mage has to know when to, you know, fucking run away. One of those very important little lessons. Now, another ball of crazy. Give them a symbol of Elsa's. You use that one, please.
Like flogging a figurehead.
Okay, we
Sweet redemption.
have the situation somewhat under control. By which I mean we have something. I can't even use that any longer. That's horrible.
Let's go.
Did I already say that I hate mages? Yep. To be fair, we kinda lost control of the battle too as soon as the other one got involved, which is precisely what I wanted to avoid. Well, that's the problem, eh?
Blast.
Between what I wanted to do and what I will actually get out of this.
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Well, whatever you say. We can try to make some of them sleepy.
I'm having some cocksucker.
After him.
Lots of people around. That's not going to help much.
From feeding the fishes.
I think he's going to go down if this continues. Yeah, but we still have resurrection, so I'm not too worried actually.
Everything hurts, savage.
Damn you!
Like everything hurts. Yeah, we know.
Let's go.
Yeah, still with that almost. Almost.
Oh hell!
She failed horribly at her little spell, that's great.
Breath awake now.
Something stronger.
Yeah, wicked price, blah 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 blah, from around causing persistent pierce damage.
All swerve and raw. Something else.
Something needs to go down to change
Let's go.
how this goes.
Cock that up.
Something really does need to change.
Nuh-uh. Didn't work.
See
Okay, you have reduced the numbers a lot.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Come on, do it. I believe in you. It's just, you know, this battle has been a bit out of control for quite a while at this point. In a very ugly way.
What can I do? You sure thing. I'll light the darkness.
But I think we'll be able to finish this soonish. Yeah, fucking finally. Well, that's one way to clear a room. Game didn't really like this. Okay, let's go back and actually take a rest. Because that was one hell of a major engagement. Okay. I was thinking we could, you know, take a nice little walk around. This enchanted diorama shows a different island than the one you landed on. Minuscule figure pieces atop the stone tower. Okay, there was really no reason to use the overkill spell.
Oh, shut your fell aim.
Well, you'd assume there's no reason to use the over fucking kill murder free spell, but a lot would disagree and go like, yes, but nice spell. Nice spell, nice. Does horrible things to people. He's right, it does. A lot more to your allies than to your enemies if there are, you know, more of them.
Sure.
Well, not that he actively cares about that, of course. Well, we find some nice things. Open sesame. Roman Shide. Tiny plaque reads Horizon. Shipwrecked under the command of Captain Rakur for a final voyage for Lost City. Apparently everybody's talking about. Well, important city, that one. Not that I will be bothered to actually remember its name.
Yourself a look at that, mate.
Because, you know, where the fuck would I?
Ain't not my thing. Savvy?
There be too many books here. Shame if somebody were to steal them all. True shame that. True shame indeed. Take a look at that, please. I want to know what that is. Also, I see another bookcase for you to steal from. Encryption and Grimoire reads Color of Petrifying Ink. Sounds like a horrible ink. And yes, just happened to write down a note. Click. Oh shit, my fingers have been petrified. It seems highly inefficient, but, well.
Yourself a look at that, mate.
Yeah, mate, I will. Mate, fuck you too. Okay, there was nothing there. But I guess the only real way forward is up then. Well. Time to light the pipe and see what's happening. So we hope. make a nice little quick save, because, well, we had one very unfriendly welcome already. I wanna be prepared for the next one. Just in case, though, you know? Just in case.
Oh, Ramora'd be half-hearted this side of this. Weren't a star he didn't notice, Sailboy.
It's fucking console out again. A skeletal figure clutches a scroll in both of his gnarled hands. Skin crinkles like old parchment. Every movement pulls to the point of nearly tearing. He glances up, his eyes burning and severe in their intensity.
No. No! I watched you die, crushed under that castle! Your monument to hubris.
Hello there again, little Gonzalo. Long time no see. I remember carrying you around as a bloody skull. I see you have not forgotten about me either. How nice of you. But it remains of his lips pulls back to real long, gumless teeth in a perpetual grimace.
Hey, it's our little skull. We thought we lost you. You've grown so much. A whole body now.
Silence! I've suffered several lifetimes worth of your inane babble already.
Gonzalo beers his teeth as the air.
Again you interrupt my plans, and again I am forced to compensate.
He closes his fist around his roll and shoves it away. The skull-shaped app sits in my pack that not just any lich can fill.
My days of bouncing in your shadow or being jostled amongst spears and daggers are over. This is the end of our sordid companionship.
Let's not fight. We just want our little skull back. The rest you can keep.
You will keep your hands away from me, cur. Whatever beginner's luck won you the day at Cragholt has expired. Fate brought us here to correct its error. One such offense was inexcusable. Your very presence, an abomination.
Rather cocky for a man with no skin.
Well, yeah.
Then I'll borrow some of yours. Describe a spell that shrinks ears.
Yeah, you don't want to talk.
I see we've already descended to petty jabs.
Well, yeah, it's fun.
This should be over soon. If the Circle sent you to interrupt my research, I'll fashion a scarecrow of your remains to deter their next hapless victim.
Well, the Taunt Bannerman led siege to Cragholt before. Why is it working for you now?
I'm sure that pig-headed Commander Bailerin is having a chuckle over the irony from whichever spoke of the great wheel he calls home.
Probably, yeah.
The Bannermen are loyal to a full purse, and my investments have paid off over several lifetimes.
Oh, good point, actually. You are a Lich, so technically speaking, you probably had a lot of time to invest and gain, huh? If I had all the time in the world. So, how did you happen in the fire?
I had planned on taking vengeance by leveling your castle, but that sea-striding Ardra buffoon stole the opportunity out from under me.
Oh, good point.
From there, it was the trivial work of dragging myself across the Deerwood toward a dock. One mouthful of soil at a time.
He drops Johanna winces. Imagine how that skull actually managed to move that far.
Then I arrived in the Deadfire as any simpleton would, by boat.
Oh, what's your interest in this particular observatory?
That arcane upstart Becana might not have been as unhinged as we once assumed. The Circle discounted her theories about a deep well of power in the Deadfire. All that changed when I felt its pulse.
Closes his fingers as if to capture something ephemeral from the air.
If you didn't come to wrest it from me, then your death will prove as meaningless as your life.
My life has a lot of meaning. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, have you seen my journeys lately? Quite fun. So, you wouldn't be here if you found what you were seeking.
How astute. Now, if you're finished dissecting my academic setbacks, I am a rather busy lich.
So you say. Promising, Gonzalo raises his bony fingers and mutters an incantation under his breath. Retreat! Retreat further! Let's meet them on the stairs, if we can. Okay, I think the positioning is okay-ish. For the moment it is. I'm not saying it's perfect. First things first. Summon our help. Actually, you know what? Summon even more help. Tentacles, my friends. The weapon most underestimated in the typical arsenal. Now then, this should help a lot. You go back a bit. Now. Yeah, I know. You're really not that helpful. I know. Which is why you're not supposed to be standing in the fucking front line, you idiot. Lancelot is still shooting shit at us, which is somewhat annoying. Why do we just let that thing pass? Come on, do it. I'm licking you. And he's dead again. Why am I not surprised? Okay, so first things first. What do we have left? More tentacles. Summon more tentacles to get some more shit going. Then you have the spell, the Cleanse Flame spell, yeah? Your powers shall be taken from you now, most brutally. Now, as for you, mage. We'll see how that goes. No pen, no pen, no pen. There's only a little bit of pen. I guess he's, you know, also a pretty damn good fighter. Which is surprising, mind you. You would assume that, you know, Lick is not really that great a fighter. That is precisely where you would be wrong, apparently. Jesus Christ, he really is putting down the hurt, isn't he? You know what they say, if your tank goes down, you're kind of fucked. No, I mean, technically speaking, we still have a secondary tank, so, you know, there's that. Jesus Christ, though. A bit close for comfort there, admittedly. Really a bit close for comfort. The control mechanism of this artery is tarnished, though recently oiled. Some of the rivers show signs of meddling. Back to the side bears the mark of a hand swiping to brush away dust. But read it. Bekana, if you're reading this, you've forgotten again. You blasted your mind to bits trying to scrape Bekana's clarity of thought. I'm sorry. Never doubt yourself. Your years of research were well spent, even if no one called you Archmage at the end of them, even if they laughed. Now remember the legend of your favorite Warner constellation, the Huntress. You need a little confidence. Set the coordinates of the Huntress and the 3 stages of her tail into this artery. You can do more with half a brain than most competent wizards, so get back to work. Love, Bacana. Well, a nice message to yourself.
If I don't survive our adventures, promise me you'll burn all my books.
One knows more closely. The levels are just a series of numbered dials which correspond to the altitude and azimuth of celestial bodies. One set of coordinates can be entered at once, which will spin the inner mechanism of the globe in a precise combination of turns. You put a never enter random numbers into the coordinates. When nothing happens, gears spin in the machine and reset the numbers to 0. Okay, apparently I would need to know something about this. TG Lovatrophy. Let's murder it.
Smart, don't it?
Hey, watch it with that.
Please murder it.
Me too.
It is severely damaged.
Me too.
This ends here.
And finally. The thrust telescope has recently been cleaned. Both lenses are polished to a fine sheen. You look through it. The ocean of stars stretches out before you. The night sky is no stranger. You seldom see it with such intimacy. A dizzy spell overtakes you. The stars blur out of your normal positions, and your focus returns. With the celestial bodies cracks open, one by one, the light bleeding together. Stars converge to form a series of winking eyes. Greeting spell. The words spell themselves out in the stars. Beneath the winking eyes, the crescent moon slowly widens and rotates into a grin. I looked at you while you're looking around. Try not to think too hard about what's up here. Some secrets are worth keeping. Largest of the Earth wings. You blink and the night sky resets its normal configuration.
You look like you could use some fresh air.
Yeah. That's not the sort of thing you want to meet, necessarily. Did we regain our skull, though? That's an important question, isn't it? Where would that even be? Okay, it's probably part of some riddle. Quest item. Apparently not. There it is. Consulate Skull. Runs pet party-wide effect. Visage of Consulate. Summons a ghostly visage of Consulate. Skull floats through some mysterious power of its own, chattering its teeth and rolling its burning eyes. You detect Consulate's energy in this and still bound inside it. We have regained our most important pet. I feel my life was worth living just to have that again. Okay. Well, we had it though. Might actually be a good opportunity to fill up everyone on healing. Again. Actually, I would like to fill you up with the big healing, but I don't think I have enough actually to fill everyone up. You know, I don't think I actually have that. Sadly. Sadly indeed. Well, we dealt with this. What do we have? An acute rush. Well, that's painful. I don't know where you got one though. Ah. I do have a somewhat hurting suspicion that we'll be back with a quest before long. Well, Curse of Atrophy times 4. Oh boy.
What do you need?
The wall.
Hey.
I don't know why I activated it, but yeah, that's actually making sense. It's always good when things actually make sense, you know? It's not pleasant. Well, one quest done and dealt with. Well, I guess the only real quote-unquote goal is up there, at least as far as the higher areas of the quadrant are concerned. You know, I'm trying to see if there's anything I would have missed, but I don't think so. Yep. Up we go. Love the little songs they sing. I mean, they are sailors. I do know one sailor song though. Then again, you know, sing anything that has, you know, a rhythm that could at some point potentially be considered useful for military purposes has seen a rather unfortunate decline in popularity. People really take everything too seriously though. In the ass. And then, the Sentinel Hill and then the Flooded Cave, I suppose. Here's where it's at. Something's not quite right, but you can't place why. You realize that. Silence. Wind does not whisper across your skin to steer the tops of trees. Birds do not whistle and shriek. The drop of insects is gone. Rounding a corner, the sounds of distant chanting find you. You can't make out the words. The low drone of many voices rise in unison. Search for the source. Come upon a rocky switchback path leading up the steep side of the mountain. Chanting voices are louder here, so you can make sense of the words. Continue up the path. The spirits surround a central figure. They all turn their ghostly eyes on you. Great, I walked into that one, didn't I? But sneaky is not really an option. I don't have any specified sneaking person. Come, sisters, we shall dawn the power. We don't. Essence battery, eh?
Let's go.
I mean, so far so well, I suppose. Don't really feel like I need to do much, honestly. Not at the moment, at least. Okay, so for some reason there's all the way up there fighting one of them, while the rest is down here doing the normal thing, you know, fighting in a normal circumstance. Interesting. I guess that's alive now. I'm sure he can hold his own, you know. I'm not too worried about him in particular. Who the fuck were you aiming at? I'm just, you know, wondering. -1 siren. Give them a nice lot of confusion then. Nice, fireball. That's still going to take a while, isn't it? Slowly, very slowly, we're making progress here.
What can I do you for?
Is there anything else we have that... I guess we can summon another one. But if we have some more muscle up front.
Do it again and I'm taking it away.
Okay, a bitch just was hiding apparently. But they had finished long ago and he's like, meh.
I'm here, indeed.
Yeah, just deal with the battery, you know?
Yes? They'll fall by my hand.
Yes, they will fall, don't worry. We can deal with this easy peasy. How do you know what you used it as a battery for? But I don't like it, which is why you're gonna get... Yes, a certain teammate of ours had for a second decided to turn sides. Was not his smartest decision. That's putting it mildly.
Sure.
Well, then some horribleness went on, but whatever horribleness did went on here, we done and dealt with. You know, maybe it's better to nip some problems in, you know, the bud still. Mostly because, you know, maybe at some point this would have turned into a major problem for someone who then hires us to deal with it. So technically speaking, good and bad, because business opportunity lost. Yes, but still, I'd much prefer a quiet life. I want to build myself a new castle at some point, and I would very much like to now avoid any problems. See, to first the island. You arrive at an area that appears to be untouched by Kifans. Lush plants grow in riotous abundance around the entrances to several caves. You can hear the sounds of animals and insects over the crash of waves on the beach behind you. When you walk closer, however, you notice that one of the cave's entrances is too uniformly structured. You have been created by nature alone. Expecting it reveals a doorway carved into the aperture of the cave. The door no longer stands there now. But hey, we found an entrance. Fishy. More exploration. And dead bodies, of course. Why am I not surprised? Retreat, you idiots. It's not really futile, you're doing damage.
What can I hear you?
Ancient Lich Battle Mage. Well, that sounds pleasant.
That order's too tall.
It's like, look at me, I found horribleness. That's the problem, I'm only a secondary tank, not a fucking full tank.
Sorry, friend.
This is futile.
Oh right, I forgot they're undead. They actually hurt from that.
Gladly. Lava room beyond seek.
That's good. Okay, let's summon some more help, because this is getting annoying as fuck.
Let's do this. Quick. Something else.
And then let's see what the fucking swashbuckler. That just leaves the ancient battle mage. Battle lick. Use the cleansing flame, take care of all of his spells.
How'd I miss?
Did you do it? This doesn't really feel like it did. Hello, game? Okay, for some mysterious reason you can't aim that at him.
Lava
Like that?
beyond.
Well, we sliced that
What can I
stem
do
this
you
there.
for?
Okay, game. If you say so. Who am I to disregard your statement?
Something stronger.
This ends here.
It does do a lot of damage though. still can't aim that there.
Oh?
Do we have anything else that would be neat here? Well, I guess we can always use that spell. It's a bit annoying because it can turn in friendly and then the whole battle gets a bit more confusing than it needs to be. Better. Now we just wait, because this should end somewhat horrible. Oh, he's petrified. I do love this wall, because it does random shit to enemies and friends alike.
Yeah?
Well then, we found
Good
the
thinking.
horrible. We really do found the horrible. Once again. Sadly, at this point it's really not uncommon to find the horrible.
Yes?
You're out of combat. Can you actually just use your spells however you please? And he's like, me. Have to work through this nonsense.
That's it!
Yeah, that should destroy it.
Indeed.
I'm sure there's another one. He almost walks into his own spell. Going like, meh, the risk I'm willing to take.
Aye?
Okay. Destruction of nonsense confirmed. But we did deal with 2 licks in 1 episode. Jesus Christ. It's one hell of a statistic, I'd say. You don't have that every day, let's just say. That's really not what happens every day. Our poor team's like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, yeah, but it's totally not happening every day to us. No, totally not. Yeah. We could now ask the question, was it worth it though? I would not have a good answer for that, honestly. Really not a good answer. Ridiculous speaking. Actually need to... Yeah, I'm still good on time. Actually have a bit of a afternoon shift on this fine day. The Battle Lake. Now we sail over to the other one. This one, and then this one. And then we have all of the upper quadrant done. Apart from now, this one, which is just like... It exists just to punch you in the face. Our motto, the pretender. You shall pretend no longer. You should stop pretending, bitch boy. Because you will be dead. Soonish. I'm in the fucking swamp again. How are we gonna do this nicely? If I send you forward, can you lure them back to me?
Looks like trouble.
Somewhat here. Somewhat you can. Good, very good even. Where is it? Now then. Love is such an idiot, isn't he? You're a mage. You do understand what a mage does, yeah? You understand that that means usually standing back, yes? You're just asking for a friend, you know? Because it feels like you really want to die. For some mystical reason.
Hit me again and I'll hit you back.
Come on. Yeah, so far so good.
Figurehead. Futile.
But apart from one who really likes dying. Everybody turns invisible, eh?
Aye. No mercy.
It's always good when people start turning invisible. Come on, just murder it. I thought we were friends. Reward death by friendly fire. It's one hell to die, I suppose. Now deal with the fucking red.
That's it. No mercy.
Maybe we just have to deal with the last one. The giant dang spore.
No rush.
But if you see me too.
How may I? I shall. Oh?
No, turn friendly again. Combat over. Dum dum dum. Well, that was so far a rather quick meeting.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I know game. You'd be surprised how much I know that. An important lesson. Not that all the way back in the 90s. Okay, down to the last location. To find out what the fuck is going on with that Flamewalker guy. Why is he called Flamewalker? The good thing is that it's not even on the map, the briny grotto. Wonder why. Probably because they added it later on, I think. So was that part of the DLC? I wonder. I wonder. Yep, still bugs. Everything seems to still be working, which is rather pleasant. That's it! Playwalker by S. Nuisance, more likely. Yeah, good thing is, we're not in a swamp. Bad thing is, there's water in the way.
No mercy.
Looks like trouble.
Just go in there.
Figurehead. Futile.
That's it.
That's some nonsense.
Beyond seek.
Watch it!
I'm here.
Yes, this looks good. Now you come over here
Very helpful.
to help a bit with all of this nonsense. Because nonsense is going on here. But it does seem to be going rather well so far. He really likes that spell though. That ice spell. If I let him doing it, he will continue to do it until basically, you know, the end of days. Until he runs out of spells, to be fair. Beep 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 beep. Minimal penetration has been confirmed.
You like that?
But you ain't feel much, but
Smarts, don't it?
you're trying to get there.
What can I do you for?
Reduced to, you know, a state beyond humanity. As in, basically pile of organs and mush. But, I mean, it works. It works indeed. I'll take it. I'll take it. Victory is victory. Even if not much is left of my enemy, apart from Mosh. Now then, dealt with that. It's just the maze of dump. That's where Tick of Butter was. That's where that was. I don't really know what's gonna happen if I sail there. Could go to Harbinger's Watch though. I do remember though there's a dragon involved there, and dragons are a pain in the ass, so I kinda would like to, you know, take myself a couple of bits. Actually, there's not actually anything to explore down here apart from the Splintered Reef, I guess. Well, I'll take a look. Then we go back to Nicodraka, refill on our resources, and probably buy a bit more in the way of food and water. But that we have a full set, basically. So the plan goes, at least. And we'll talk to the people a bit more about this, that, and nonsense, and then we'll finally meet the Queen. After. We have been waiting quite long for our meeting, and well, you know. Nice little quick save. Unknown. Population, religions, imports unknown. Races unknown, 100%. You can get supplies here though. Yeah, that's neat. Give meat. Well, that's nice. Encounter a veil of thick fog. A series of flimsy docks connect scattered stretches of dry land. On all sides you are flanked by the hulks of splintered wrecked ships. Thick fog sits upon the water, obscuring the path in all directions. The only sound you hear are the lapping of water, your own footsteps upon the narrow, rotting planks. The eerie quiet is broken by the barking of a dog, somewhere off to your left. Let's whistle for it. The whistle is met with a renewed barking, then a sharp whine, abrupt and shrill. For several moments of silence, you hear running red upon the docks. The dog bounds from the fog, back matted with blood. Two figures stumble after the hounds, their maws stained red. Out of the fog they are reeled for what they are, withered, rotting, human only in silhouette, gargles. They halt, swaying at the sight of you, make no further move. From the darkness of the fog a third, robed figure emerges, twisted staff raised high in their hands. A flash of light emerges from the staff. They look on, runes seared into the Dargle's forehead flare to life, glimmering like beacons in the darkness. Snarling, the Dargles rush for you, their blood-slaked claws slicing at the air. And we're getting ambushed. I knew I shouldn't have landed here. But you know. When will such knowledge ever stop me from doing the horrible?
Let's roll. It's the honor.
Well then, mage boy, you wanna suffer for that. Actually, let's not use our special spell right off the bat. A fucking vampire.
Let's do this.
Bam, bam, bam. Vampire summoned a bit of a... Yeah, that's going to hurt. Oh, because they're undead, they don't really like the healing magics. At all, basically.
After him.
I do hate that bloody teleportation spell of them though, that really breaks my battle line basically. Even if just given, you know, half a chance at breaking the battle line most profoundly. Oh well, one of us got turned. But you know it's bad when your paladin gets turned. That's usually a very bad sign.
Hey, watch it with that.
King Vampire.
Like that?
Well, he should be dead soon enough.
Let's go.
Come on, would you die, please? Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, leave it to me.
Always lovely when the evil undead fight you. Ah, always very lovely.
I hear you.
Okay, that's just the exit. Well, I guess we can see a certain theme for this island, can't we? I'm probably going to meet a lot of dead people. Almost made it to the boathouse. Almost made it to the boathouse, mind you. Ah, so much dead. Guess our visit to the Queen will have to wait until we deal with a few more undead. Not that
Place smells this bad. If the owner ain't dead, there's no excuse.
each plate is pitted through with rust. Well, yeah, I'd imagine so. This thing looks a lonely dog. Stop being lonely, little Nicky. You shall be saved. Of course you shall be saved. By yours truly. Now, click save, because this area seems a bit of a pain to move through. So, the pickled eel. Then we go to the sea-lashed crypt, then we go up. I'm assuming I know who resides here. Which means we're gonna meet a very undead captain with a very undead crew.
You there? How are you up here?
On a balcony, a tall and lanky figure waves frantically for your attention. Then he ducks down again behind the railing. It's not an effective hiding place.
This is not right. Not by a long shot.
Why are the dead having a...
Just arrived? I'll wager you've a thirst.
Why are the undead having a freaking tavern? They can't get drunk.
Look at this.
Looks like we have someone new in town.
You don't get drunk. What's the point of a tavern if you can't get fucking drunk?
Leave it to me.
Also, I'm assuming what you're serving here is probably somewhere below, around the idea of kiff meat plus, I don't know, dirty water.
Drink, ma'am?
Man at the bar goes about his business in merry defiance of the fact that he appears to be semi-decomposed. Behind him, a dwarf hangs upside down over a barrel. Blood streams down into the bucket from a wound in his wrist. And then the dwarf twitches feebly.
Ain't got much on the menu, truth be told, but an ale ought to hold you over until Zolka and her people turn up with supplies. Then you can enjoy the catch of the day.
I'm not undead. Why do you think?
Here, newcomer. First drinks on the house.
He pours from a nearby pitcher, filling a goblet with an unmistakable red liquid. Thick and dark. Coppery odor hits your nostrils with force. That's what? A constitution test? Sure. Tip back the goblet, taking a long drink. And promptly gag. Obviously. Spitting blood all over the barkeep and the floor on your feet.
Ah, what the... You'll have no more drinks here if you can't stomach 'em.
He swipes irritably at the front of his shirt, then turns away with a muttered oath. Yeah, it's kind of what you expect to happen. I found one hell of a place, though.
Good, good. I thought for sure you'd wander off. Get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, I can't get into much more trouble than I already am, thank you. The man before you, a creature, perhaps, as his skin is as great and withered as that of the other patrons, wears a helmet 2 sizes too large for him. It tips from side to side as his head moves.
I'm Copperhead. That's what they call me. Friendly nicknames. You know how it is. Oh, yeah. I know you're different from the others. I can see it.
Eesh. You think? What gave it away? My healthy skin color, comparatively speaking. Strange rumors. Everyone here seems to have one.
Oh, right. Have a look.
Tips the helmet back just far enough that you can start to see the outline of a rune upon his forehead.
But not you, eh? You stick out like a cat in a kennel.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not safe here. Not where everyone's looking, listening. I have a house, out on the outskirts. But don't mind me keeping to myself. We can talk there.
Well, very well, I
Look
will
out
meet
for
you
the
there.
ones in charge. Them with the staffs. They spy you, things will get bad in a hurry. Zulka, especially she. I have to go.
Well, great. Woman strides into the tavern, wearing a staff whose ornamental head glows with arcane energy. She strikes the staff upon the ground. Once, the tavern fills with eerie light, as the runes carved upon each vessel's sword begin to glow. Zulka mutters something under her breath, and a faint aura ripples around the two bound Kif standing behind her. At done, she makes a sweeping gesture of the arm, with all the showmanship of a theater performer.
Menzago has brought you a feast, my friends. Livestock and game.
Let's totally ignore the
Tonight,
red circle around her.
well,
Everyone in the tavern cheers as they Kif are carted into the back room.
Copperhead, you are not staying for the celebration?
Corporate freezes mid-slink, grinning insipidly.
Not today, Zulka. I've had my fill, really. Another mouthful and I'll split down the seams.
He bobs his head in a feeble bow and scuttles away. Zulka's attention drifts toward the crowd. Pretty sure she spotted me at this point. You're gonna fight me, aren't ya? Yeah, I don't think I can get away from this. The vampire's gaze falls upon you. For an instant it seems that she will overlook your presence. Then her eyes narrow, and she raises her staff with a great violent motion.
Look here. Someone a little too eager to climb into the stew pot.
You think so, but no. All around you, lights flare above the filled brows of the gathered vessels. 7 veterans slump into feral postures, as blank and insensate, their jaws gnashing, as one they lunge toward you. Yeah, we're surrounded by evil. Better change your weapons immediately. Now then, let's do the usual. Summon a little help, because we'll fucking need it. Okay, so far so good. We're murdering them left, right, center. That's good. Oh look, somebody else uses tentacles, eh? That's putting you on the list, because that's my fucking spell. I could quite literally rename the spell to my own name if I could, because fuck's sake, I use it more often than is probably healthy.
Doldrums here.
Now then.
I thought we were friends.
Yes, but Alov doesn't really know how to aim his spell in a way that will not murder you. It's kind of what he likes to do. Okay, Zulka goes down, slowly but surely.
You like that?
Some more assholes trying to shoot at me from the back, but can't say I care overly much for them.
Let's reap this whirlwind.
Well, I guess we get some more loot out of it. Oh, I'm not really against it, but still, this is one hell of a welcome. The whole island of undead. That's great. Hey, what about the captives? Do they have anything to say about this? The captive's mouth is gagged with a tight bandana. A loop of iron is bolted around her neck with a glowing emblem wrought into the metal at the joint. She struggles to speak to you, but manages only a muffled, garbled yell. You pretty sure you have a gag in your mouth? Speaking is not really an option. Let's remove that. The woman takes a few gasping breaths for air, before lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper.
What in blazes is going on? Have you seen those monsters?
Seen them? I've had a drink with them. Until they decided to murder me. Well, there was this Dago Copperhead. You might know more about what's going on.
Funny name or no, I wouldn't trust that creature with anything but the end of a sword.
Yeah, me neither, but I'm kinda used to the whole it's a trap thing at this point. Last time they tried that, I murdered them.
We were sailing under Lofel, captain of the Antelope, and making good time. A clear sky and a good wind until, out of nowhere, this fog bank rolled in.
Yeah, kept to the best of us.
Then, a great hulk came gliding through the water towards us. Nearly stove us there and then. The floating hangman.
Ah, I knew it. So we did find the harbor of the floating hangman.
To wake up again. But the next thing I knew, those things were carting me and Kasungo down the road.
That's good, actually. We can deal with the floating hangman. Oh, well. Honestly speaking, if I could ally myself with that, I might actually consider that. If that is an option, because, you know, the undead are somewhat, how to put this mildly, uncooperative most of the times.
Daimo here started hollering, and they all but cracked his skull in two. I have to get him back to Fort Deadlight. You've gotten past them. Help us do the same.
You do a principe.
Aye. Lately of Captain Lofel's crew. Friend to Aldi's, if that name means aught to you.
Yeah, don't really want to get involved, but just leaving him here to die is also kinda, you know, unnecessarily cruel. Well, let's cut the bonds. The way's clear. You can go.
Our gratitude, stranger. Come by Fort Deadlight sometime, and we'll give you a grand welcome.
Yeah, you know, the last time somebody offered me a great welcome once we meet again, they were like, thanks for helping me. It was great.
So, mayhaps we'll follow your ship a while. Wouldn't do to get caught again.
Well, I guess we can plan out some shit now. You know, it's not like I'm against cooperating with unusual companions, mind you. So if the undead could be swayed to stop being idiots about every bloody last thing, I might be able to, you know, talk things out. Actually, I'm having a hard time imagining that, but, you know, I can try. I can try to be nice. Yo, cooperate. Yes, I know. So what's your...
Over here. Mind your step. I've collected things. Spent years collecting.
He moves a hand vaguely at the collection of detritus, yeah, fancy surface. In the corner of his makeshift boat.
I've always been curious. There are so many ships out there on the reef. I could dive down, see what I found. It was beautiful down there. 100 stories, and I read them piece by piece. Nothing like the helmet, and nothing's been the same since the helmet. I put it on. I get glimpses of what this place really is. A ship's graveyard, teeming with the dead. The not dead. They're still alive.
No, the undead, my friend. Can I take a look at your helmet?
No, I won't go back to before. My head all cloudy. If I take it off, I'll go back into the dream.
Copperhead clutches at his helmet, tugging it down around his ears. You hear a muffled growl from within its depths. Just hold still while I look at it. Looking at your helmet, nothing more notable than your own reflection in its grimy surface. You cannot see anything that sets the helmet apart from any other piece of armor.
And so? What do you see?
Despite his initial protest, Copperhead sounds excited. Can't see what's so special about it, honestly.
Yeah, well, the dream only works on folk what have this symbol on their heads. I didn't see it till I got the helmet on. And all of us, dead, or something like it, feeding off the living to stay alive a little longer.
It's not really something you'd want to wake up to.
No, it were a shock, I'll tell you true. Maybe I did go a little mad, just a little.
Let me try to recount your story. You were an undead at some point, a normal undead, mind you. So, you know, captured, murdered, revived. Then you woke up one day, after putting on a fucking helmet, and realized, well, my life sustains now of being undead, rotting and eating the living.
I can't see as to what we've been charmed for, but I know it's got something to do with the crypt. That's where Mentzago is, the man in charge of this place, and where Lucia Ravan's old keep used to be. Anytime new settlers turn up, they come out of that place. When they start to lose their senses, get too hungry, that's when they get taken. The strongest get fed to Mentzago's most loyal servants, the protectors. The rest of the kith, they bleed slow in the tavern. Once in a while, the protectors treat us to a whole body. point is, whatever they're doing to keep us living in this little fantasy, it's got to be in there somewhere.
The same river that captains the floating hangman.
I don't know the ship, but Ravan's supposed to be some great captain. She founded this place, made it what it is now.
Well, living in fantasy has to be a bit better, at least, than finding out your fucking rotting corpse.
And play out the rest of our lives in someone else's demented little story. Better the truth than a silly little dream. At least it's our truth.
Alright, I'll have a look at that
Hold
crypt.
on, you can't just walk on in. It's guarded. Really, really well guarded.
Like so many other places, eh? Yeah, I can handle that,
Not much
trust me.
choice there, have I? But, well, good luck. I'll wait for you. And if they put a rune on your head, I promise I'll try and find a way to fix you.
That's nice of you. Well then. That sounds fun. Ba-da-ba-ba. Hello, crypt. Many undead, I'm assuming. Many undead. It's going to be fun. Well, this explains why suddenly the game was like, let's take a break.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Of course. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm fucking surprised.
Let's go, alright?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't do well if my fucking healer goes down. Some mysterious reason that seems like a very bad thing. Yeah, let's use some holy radiance.
Balls.
Can you use that on yourself? You can. Still, you're kinda, how to put this mildly, in the bed of it.
Kinda stuck over here.
Do you have anything else? Yes, you have. Use your little ball of idiocy. Hey, murder, please. Because we need to get rid of that. You just did that, and is one of us dead? Yeah, one of us is dead indeed. Again.
This won't do.
Lovely combat. A bit too chaotic for my own personal taste.
Can't take much more.
Yeah. That's really a bit much.
Everything hurts, savvy.
Okay, we have a little bit many of them.
Let's go.
Summon another planar, please. Do you have anything else? It was not nearly as efficient as I had hoped it would be.
Can't take much more.
After him.
Yeah, he's gonna go down almost assuredly. And again, we do manage to get this off, which is good.
Yeah. Hit me again and I'll hit you back.
Now it kinda depends on how good my little close quarters people are. Usually I'd say pretty damn good at what they're doing.
Not good.
Yeah, this is not going nearly as well as it could. Leaves the fucking vampire.
Smart Stone, what can I do you for?
Do you have anything left, even?
All thick Worthen raw. Rebirth awaits me. Sure thing. Get threshed.
Shorty's done for.
Hey.
Yeah, pretty much everyone's done for. You're the last one standing. There. I mean, you're doing a good job, mind you, but still. You're kinda outnumbered and outmatched. Jesus Christ, that woman can use tentacles often. Must have a lot of training with them, don't she?
May I be a candle in the night?
That really doesn't help. Jesus Christ, this area is really not meant to be easy, is it? I underestimated it, to be fair. I might still be able to deal with this vampire, because she's really not that good at hitting me. The other one, well, you know, also was not really a great hitter. Okay, let's heal ourselves. Try to deal with the vampire lady. Well, even enhanced it didn't work. Yeah, very slowly we're murdering. I can actually do fast mode in this. Is this going to help in combat? It doesn't really seem like it helps.
Hey, we had some good times.
They don't pretend you're dying. You're fighting pretty damn well there. Yeah, they almost have the same health. Now, if you can just get a few good hits in, you're there. Yeah, it's a bit of a dangerous gamble. Ah, boy. Really not the sort of combat you want to be in. I mean, we do an ass load of damage, mind you. Well, normally, apart from now we're doing nothing of the sort. Actually, use this one. Seems a bit better, honestly. I'd kind of forgotten that I had the better ones equipped too. And now, slowly but surely murder her. I believe in you, Idea. I'm sure he can win. I have my utmost trust in his abilities. Bloody vampires, though. Might actually get that level up done at some point. Seems a bit required.
Sure.
Okay, let's lure him over here. They go like, "Roar. Attack!" Now we're in for another nice little waiting party of seeing it there. Slowly but surely murder something. Yeah, your damage is quite pathetic, my friend. Jesus Christ, though. It was a bit too close for comfort, and that is putting it fucking mildly. Bit of a misjudgment on my part. I should have used a lot more healing. But I really didn't see it becoming such a big fight, honestly.
What do you need?
It did kind of fuck me over there. And you know what they say about assumptions? Let's go back and actually heal up, because fuck's sake, that's that was something. That was something alright. We do still kind of have to love though the logic here. Right in front of this is probably going to be the biggest enemy concentration imaginable. We just, you know, put down the sleeping bags and start sleeping, like, fuck you. I ain't taking that without a good night's rest. Thanks you very much, basically. RPG logic. Always such a shiny dandy little thing. Now then, there's nothing down there. Well then, power up the crypt, I guess we go. But first we're gonna level up, because we need to level up. We need more strength here. Yeah, become more intimidation. Intimidating? Yeah, intimidating makes more sense. Language is difficult. Still can't get level 9 shit. Because, you know, there's something cool like Blade of Pure Seal, which I would very much like to get my hands on. It's all for the Empower, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually not a bad choice. Yeah, you do deal a nice amount of damage, normally. There, the hero of the last fight, mind you. Without him, we'd not be standing here, quite literally. Increase maximum number of times the power can be used before resting. Okay, that's the same as the other ones, I suppose. Disengage attack, yeah, but my enemies rarely do disengage like I want them to. I guess Uncanny Luck would be neat. Anything else I need? It was strong from there, blah blah, causing them to regenerate a portion of the health lost from each attack. That's actually not a bad thing, mind you. We just saw how important it is to stay healthy, mind you. Probably a good idea to start investing in a bit of self-healing. Mostly because, yeah, I don't know why I choose to do this now. This seems like a bad idea, but, well, now that I'm on this fucking island. Yeah, we'll do it. The priest can destroy any spirit or vessel creature. Bloody nose. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's going to serve us well in the future. We do have to deal with summons more often lately. Probably not a bad idea at all to actually plan around that in particular. Now as for you, blah blah blah. It's an enemy, nearby enemy may become frightened. I think you're actually better off with the Uncanny Luck thing. Zerafan, at some point I want to replace you. You seem to be more of a hindrance than an actual help these days, most of the time. As for you, are there any more spells I would like to get my hands on? Cataclysm Freezing Rake. Spells like that are nice, mind you, but the main problem is if I let the AI actually do it, they will try to cast that spell right where our allies are. I mean, he's already doing it more than enough with the little, you know, freezing pillar. Give him more options and he will do it again, I can tell you that much. The wall of training, enemies passing through or standing in this wall will lose time. Upgrades the burst of 34 around the caster, causing enemies in the immediate vicinity to take pierce damage by pressing nearly all armor rating. Considering how often little elf finds himself in fucking melee, I guess he'd be happy to have that particular spell around. He has a very, you know, interesting view on what it means to be a mage. You know, the average mage would be like, okay, I'm gonna stand like a good 5 meters in that direction while you are fighting here. And this is the kind who's like, I have a spell that is touch. Wanna touch. Wanna touch most profoundly. Which usually ends up as bad as you would imagine. Looks inviting.
Tomorrow would have been belaying us for a rest by now.
Might I point out, you fucking idiot. You are the one who's supposed to find traps. I hate this creature. You have no idea how much I hate this little creature for being such an idiot. Look at the motherfucking damage that gave me. Ball of confusing nonsense.
Watch it with that.
And of course one of them can teleport around like the little fucking idiot he is.
Let's go.
I mean, you know, most normal enemies are not really much of a problem.
Yes?
Of course the situation turns a lot worse when we actually wounded to hell and back. Thanks to someone being fucking unable to fucking realize what the fucking trap is. Dungeon resting. I'm not a fan. Okay, Zerafan, do me a fucking favor, yeah? Just for once. Actually look for traps, well, yeah. You should have more than enough passive ability to actually find them. Well, you know. Should have, and all of the good nonsense.
I don't be supposing we could blow it up.
Apparently not. Apparently blowing it up is not an option. Oh well. Risen champion. That sounds pleasant. I can save here. Let's see how many more of them are there. Because I can imagine that it's not just one. Take a nice little undeath-defying spell to the face. Because that's always fun. Teleporting enemies. Fun for the whole family. Means that the battle line is not really useful. Well. Good thing most of them are actually little cunts and don't really have the necessary hope to stand. Maybe I should have actually tried to look for a different way in. Maybe I should have. I mean, the point would be that I didn't, so complaining is not gonna help me.
Could be a fight.
Could be. I'm pretty sure it is a fight.
Blessings be upon
Could be a
you.
fight.
To go forward. You do me a favor and summon a bit help, because those assholes are going to teleport all over the place again.
Yes?
You know what? Just summon some tentacles for me. Seems appropriate. Gives them more targets, basically. More targets means less likely that they attack people that I don't want them to attack.
Come now, step into the light.
Good bit of damage. Why? Because undead. Undead really don't like healing magic. And now, not really surprising.
It's no good to me.
That one swashbuckler though. Bit of a pain in my ass, is it? I can tell you that much. It's not. Don't worry. It's not. Don't worry. Give some room. Actually, I'm not supposed to be a main tank. Just kind of biting you in the ass right about now.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea to go for a bit more.
Let's go.
Has she really turned on us? Yes, she has. When your paladin starts getting mind fucked, that's when the start of bad things, usually. Okay. Now we only have one left.
Useful as a bump on a pick. What can I do? All right.
It's almost controllable.
Get through.
Now you heal yourself, because fuck this shit. Oh god, no penetration. Yeah, I don't think there's much. Jesus. Teleportation. You don't really mention how much I love it when they start teleporting all over the fucking place. Just the smallest bit annoying. Well, I guess that was one of their leaders. I suppose that explains why he was such a fucking asshole to take down. But well, he's down now and it's... oh, well and good.
I'm fine, I swear.
Didn't sound fine. Okay, we've gone this way. Out to the quartermaster. Well, it's dead now, which is good. The traps must actually be relatively high level, all things considered, because normally Zerafin is not that bad at finding them. Not interesting. Actually, how much of those particular stew do I have? I have... yeah, still, it's actually porridge. Okay. Now, go away. You know how it is with serious burns, just one night of rest. Okay. Actually want to feel a lot better. It looks bad. The brazier doesn't appear to hold any obvious mechanism for lighting itself, but you notice a basin at its base that is coated with dried blood. Examine it closely. Set within the basin is a raised crest, bearing the crest of Old Valia. Pour vampire blood into the basin. Put a foul-smelling liquid into the basin, it drains away into the depths of the brazier. There a faint rumbling, though you cannot be sure from where it comes, but once the brazier flares to life, flames casting dancing shadows upon the surrounding walls. This was easy.
Leave it to me.
But I don't have whatever is supposed to go in there, I guess.
Tread cautiously.
I'm assuming another fight.
Hey, watch out.
Well, I mean, I was right. But that is always the most pleasant of operations.
That's it! Lava. Beyond seek. I thought we were friends. Lava. Beyond seek.
So far, so good. Yeah, sure, just shoot a little orb of nonsense in there. I do love my little orb of nonsense. It does horrible things to people. Just, you know, it's a bit random because it decides randomly what sort of nonsense it's going to do.
So help me God, I'll whoop the next one of you who takes aim at me.
Yeah, understandable. Actually, one of the problems of the aiming mechanism, once the spell is aimed, it's going to hit whatever it's aimed at. Even if that thing has just teleported itself into a very, very nasty position. Okay, you'll use a little healing spell. And as for you, do you have anything else? You know what, just go for the classics. Sure to do more than enough. Okay, another vampire. Should be down soonish. Oh, they didn't like fire. Apparently. Good, very good. Now we can just, you know, wait it out. But this will be over soon. I do have a kind of feel like there's gonna be another one of those named enemies down there. For some mystical reason, don't know why. Instead a delayed fireball. Yep, that was a delayed fireball.
Tell me.
Well then,
Why not?
let's see what my exploration this time gives me. Apart from another headache.
Now.
That's neat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's gonna be trapped, isn't it?
I could go for some shut-eye about now.
Cheese team shock. -2 perception, -3 shock armor rating. It's actually not that bad. The wound. Yeah, this kind of looks like it's going to end up with a bit of another named battle.
Looks like trouble. Don't struggle. I'll fill your head with sweet dreams.
You will not, thank you. Also, I don't imagine your dreams, or well, the dreams you are willing to share will be much good for me. Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten, there were enemies behind me too.
This is futile.
Are you immobilized? Yes, you are. Okay, that's one important lesson to remember. There are enemies behind me. Wait, did I just... I clicked on it? To which game?
Hey. Sorry, you
Okay, how about you do yourself?
Very helpful.
I hear you.
Good. Ooh, that gave me some space. Now then, as for you, yeah, sure. Here's your little bill. Yeah, looks better. I don't think I can do it again though.
Think you got the decency to die? Mo, exceed honor. All things must come to.
Okay, that should get your attention. Not that you want that particular attention.
You like that? Let's go. Mo, exceed honor.
Come on, just deal with
All
him.
things must come to an end. That don't.
That's it.
But I guess that much left of itself. Deal with it. Bitter.
Mo, exceed.
Okay.
Very helpful.
This should end then rather shortly.
Mo, exceed. Take this.
Do we have anything else that we want to use? Not really. I don't think that in the end we will win. It's gonna take a while because, well, it's probably going to be somewhat hard to penetrate that steel-clad construct. But oh well. We'll have time if nothing else on our side. And most of those are probably not gonna penetrate anyway. I guess I could use this one. Yeah, but Terrified is probably not gonna work on a fucking construct, is it? Boop, 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 boop. Just tickle the walls a bit. Probably going to be enough. Oh, this makes me wonder why that asshole is in fucking melee when he has fucking guns, doesn't it? Good questions. Very good questions. Let's not think about it too deeply, otherwise we're gonna get insane. Oh, you got paralyzed. Stupid construct. It will die. Okay. I guess another vial. That's probably going to open up the next door. Well, no, it's gonna open the final door, basically. Which means at some point we're gonna meet the captain and be like, hey, captain, sorry about that, killing all of your good people, but, what kind of assholes? Which is technically speaking not a lie, they were kind of assholeish to me. I'm just gonna point that out. Remains like a boss fight. Which I would rather avoid, actually. I would much rather like to, you know, be like, okay, let's talk about this for a moment. You know, there's no actual reason for us to murder each other. Yeah. Take a rest again, so that it stops being system shocked. But that sounds horrible. Pour in more blood. You hear a loud scraping rumble of stone, followed by a rush of air, like the sigh of a great beast. Ascend the stairs. Sounds a bit dangerous. But yeah, this is actually the last area of this little map, isn't it? The outpost thingy. Deal with Men's Sago. Oh, this looks totally not like a boss area, does it? It's even got a little throne, blazing braziers and stuff, and, you know, a fucking orb of all sort of horrible nonsense-ness. Totally not a bush fight. Okay, I can already see some enemies up there. I was kinda about to sneak about, you know? Well, in contrast to the numerous vessels you have seen within the crypt, the robed man who sits upon the nearby throne boasts every semblance of life. Only the pallor of his skin and the cloying odor of decay suggest anything to the contrary. His fingers drum a steady tattoo against the thick, weathered grimoire he carries.
When my hunters informed me that there was a disturbance in the crypt, I looked out over the water, and there it was, a sail, a ship. For that instant, it was as if my heart skipped a beat.
I'm pretty sure your heart is not beating any longer, but oh well. So, you know, how would it skip a beat without actually beating? Question for the ages. But that begs the question, if you saw my little ship sitting at your little, quote-unquote port, harbor area, ruins, whatever, shouldn't you have maybe done something about it before I murdered you now, all of your good people?
You can appreciate the irony there, perhaps. I must assume, of course, that you have escaped from someone's dinner plate.
I have a complaint to make to the chef.
Ha! Belfetto. Ak, someone will pay for this, I can assure you.
Don't worry, most of them are dead already.
Decades of work, undone by a nazenale. I have few hobbies with which to fill these long hours, and now I am denied even this.
Yeah, totally sorry about that. What's that supposed to be? I've only jumped for a nosy person. Okay, I'm a nosy person then.
I, who was second in command to the great captain Lucia Rivan. Until the day came that I was charged to perch here and maintain her forces until she should call upon me again. A century of waiting while she sailed freely upon the sea. E così. But why not enjoy my stay?
Well, apparently you had too much fun. Now somebody has come along to ruin it.
I have crafted my own little empire. Do not think I have forgotten my duty. I gave dear Rivan a part in my little mythology.
Glorious.
Our glorious founder. But it is my little paradise, and you have no part in it, but that of livestock.
You know, so many people have threatened my life over the just cause of this game, let alone the last game. It's not really having much of an effect on me, honestly. Well, to take that you are the one responsible for the spill on these people.
In part, I set my best people to the task. You may have met them on your way here? Briefly?
Pretty much, yeah. Murdered them.
It took some time to perfect the illusion that holds Splintered Reef together. A spell of enormous power, requiring a focus. The sphere, just there.
Aha.
You may have cost me valuable allies, but we have, all of us, been here a long time. I have others at my command. I need only summon them.
Seems kinda unnecessary, the whole spiel. So wait, let them keep them in the law.
True. I began with different ambitions. Lucia Rivan desired an army to aid in her conquest. An army that would not succumb to injury or disease.
Well, they're undead. They
Easy
don't.
to say, but what to do with them all when they start to rot?
Wait until they turn into skeletons and continue using them?
Hard for any man to keep his senses when he begins to see the inside of his face. And so, my advisors devised a means by which to make these wretches unaware of their sorry fate.
Well, enough of this. Misago makes the smallest motion. Slight wave of the hand. The orb in the nearby platform sizzles and hisses. It has been plunged into embers. The chorus of anguished towers rises along the southern face of the cliff. Okay, let's actually take care of him first, because he's a fucking mage. I was about to suggest, you know, not doing it like this, but instead doing it a bit smarter, but... See, this is why I wanted to go back here, actually. I wanted to deal with them first, but he followed, which I kinda had hoped he wouldn't. Of course, you know, hopes and fucking dreams.
God darn it!
Don't go that far, Barney. I still have my orb of nonsense. That should help somewhat. Some freedom at least of movement. Okay, that's good. Yeah, no matter how I turn this is gonna be horrible. Just continue to use spell of horrible nonsense. As for you, use the Mother Seal, that should do well. Nice. Give me another nice little ally. Okay, so far so good. I hate it when my enemy uses tentacles. That's my spell, for fuck's sake. I don't want to cleanse now, for no real reason. Actually heal yourself a bit more, because this could still take a moment. Yes, for you. Yeah. You know what? Since the enemy is such an asshole, let's use your own tentacles. Proof that you can do better. Planet Flame now. Let's actually save that spell in case we actually need to revive someone. Don't really like the rage there. You know what? Just do some hammer time on that enemy. Seems fitting. So far, so good. Too bad, it was a chance to get an undead army, but that guy was just too fucking annoying. And you know, it's kinda home. If they annoy me, I will prioritize their death. Now then, so far so good. Bunch of dead corpses, hopefully some nice loot. Actually some nice loot.
Indeed.
A sphere floats before you, bobbing under the force of its own magical power. The ruby surface is as sleek and smooth as glass, lit from within with a powerful arcane aura. You can feel that energy press against its confines. Shattering the orb would free it, but what effect that might have you are not certain. Destroy the orb. Strike the glass. Cracks appear in the surface, spinning with a discordant crackle. All at once the orb shatters. The energy it held bursts outward in a radiant flare of light.
Sure that was wise.
No, not really. I'm pretty damn sure that was not wise. And it's kinda why I did it, actually. Well, this is going to make my next meeting with the dear little pirate captain undead lady a bit more difficult in explaining what the fuck I just did there and why the fuck I just did it. But oh well, she can't really complain. Her second in command was a bit of a bitch. So you know, what more do I need to explain? So how about you, little dead one? You feeling good about yourself? And kinda did what you asked me.
Did it? Look.
Holding his helmet in one hand, Corpetto reaches up to wrap the side of his head with the other.
I heard some strange noises. Took some time to work up the nerve, but I took the helmet off and I've kept me wits.
Well, yeah, I killed him and shattered the up. His will is broken.
You can't know what this means. I had a long time to get my head right. Figure out what I was, make peace with that. Maybe it'd be different if everyone else had the same chance.
I'm sure many of them will actually consider suicide. Imagine waking up, looking in the mirror and you see like yourself rotting. Yeah, that's not the sort of experience you can get through unscathed.
Not sure what I'll do now. At least I know for sure I ain't mad.
Well, yeah.
Here, I don't need this thing anymore. Maybe it'll be some use to you.
Well, that's nice. If you need somewhere to go, I could use you on my crew, you know?
You mean it?
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't have said so.
I don't know if you've thought this through. Hardtack won't do the trick with things like me.
We'll be fine. You ever heard of the auto trade, Corporate? Corporate shakes his head. A smile creeps across his face as he takes in your words, splitting into a full-on grin.
The sea! A real ship! Thank you, Captain. A more loyal sailor you'll never find.
I hope. I also was in desperate need for more personnel because my ship is not completely filled up, so that's rather fitting. Do I want to go to the bar again? Pickle Deal. What a fitting name, though. Or Bar of the Undead. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone left here, is there? I'm pretty sure I murdered them all. Yep. Still, the music plays rather nicely. Ah, blood everywhere. Still, tavern music. Totally appropriate. Time to leave this behind. This has been an experience. Let's not do it again. Never talk of this. Let's also completely forget the point where I took a swig of that, well, quite literally blood. In a mug. Yeah, that never happened. Ship. Do I have a new one? Yes, I have. There he is. He is a navigator and a deckhand. Oh, deckhand is good. Well, worst case scenario, he can arm the cannons, I guess. If worst comes to worst. As for everything else, I think that was all of the things. So let's actually go back to Turker and see what we can do. I think it is time, after, you know, we have traveled around for a month, probably years at this point, actually, in the seas, to meet up with the queen and be like, hey, I heard you wanted to talk to me, like, when we set foot on your island. And now it's been maybe a year or so, but still, probably wasn't anything important you had to say anyway, was it? And I guess then we can deal with, that one archmage lady who's waiting us in the unseen halls somewhere. You know, I seem to be a bit of a contrarian person by nature, because if someone's like, meet me there immediately, it's important, I'm like, yeah, sure. Just a second though, please. And once that second turns into fucking months, we stopping game? Not really that hard to seal the neck jacket now, is it? And I'm like, oh yeah, there was something, wasn't there? Also, we should probably buy some more food and drink for my crew. I mean, I think I do have a nice amount of flesh. Don't ask me where I got that. My inventory, so my new undead helper should not starve to death immediately. Does he need the water though? I don't think he would necessarily need it. I guess he more or less needs essence to stay, you know, unrotting, I guess. So technically speaking, he doesn't need give flesh either. He needs just something that would give him essence. Well then, let's order this by price because that's easier. Then let's look. Minus 10% damage taken. It gives them +1 morale. You know, that's actually not a bad deal. How much can I get? 500 of those? How much would it cost? 9,000. I'm willing to make that sacrifice. -1 dexterity. That's 18,000 for food stars. That's almost all of my money. Then again, I have my ship, I have my cannons, I have... Sure, I have all the upgrades too that I wanted. Actually, in some cases, I think I have actually better upgrades than what they're offering here. Yeah, so I really don't have any reason to hold back now, do I? Wait that. And then let's manage to ship a bit. So that I will never ever have to think about anything like that again. Ah, the pipe. Such a nice thing to have. Alright. More rice. More lager. Sort this in a sensible way. So that the worst gets eaten last. Only really when it, you know, absolutely needs to be eaten. I want to set up anything else there. Yeah. Like this. This. Anything else I have a lot of? Not really. Oh, yes, I'll have the Silt of Berath. Could probably sell a few of those things though. I don't really need those. Actually, it's probably a good idea to sell off a few of them. Because that's clawing up my inventory so much fierce. Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, now let's say... We don't really need those. Okay, we should probably, you know, start selling off some more things so we actually get some more money. Good thing actually, because this game, like good old RPGs usually do, actually account for, you know, your enemies wearing an armor. If I murder them and I then plunder them and I don't find a piece of armor, it's kinda annoying. Not like some modern games where it's like, you find that the raid boss, he has a fucking amazing sword. You're like, yeah, I would very much like to have that. It's easy jet into, you know, lying in a bunch of gore on the floor. You should totally be able to pull his sword from whatever is left of him. The game's like, nope, here, take 10 coppers and go your way. I was like, son of a bitch, are you serious? Well, I just did 100,000. That was a bit more money than I had anticipated. Okay, before we go in, where do we need to go for my quests? That's in the upper area. That's also in the upper area. Basically, this is in the completely higher area. I do have a few quests. Okay, let's go one by one. Let's go to the map store. I already mentioned that language is a difficult thing. Yes, very, very difficult thing. Sometimes at least. See, here's another quest of go visit island. I'm pretty sure at this point we have visited every single bloody island.
Welcome back, welcome back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope.
Very smooth. I found the harbor of the undead. That was
how
fun.
might I assist you?
Yeah, I've got what you need.
Wonderful. I can't wait to... Oh, is that a little fishman you've drawn?
Yeah, got a problem with that.
I had already set a coin aside for you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. We're getting into deeper water now, so to speak. We call the islands along the east of Magran's Teeth the Burning Shoals. As you might imagine, it gets a little hot over there. 2 of the islands haven't been surveyed yet. You'll want to sail northeast from the docks to reach the islands. I'll be waiting. Welcome back. Well, how might I assist you?
Already
so close.
done.
There's only one corner of the map left. Only it's for good reason. The waters in those parts are Well, this region is probably why I had so much trouble finding help before you came along. Time to set out for the Razai Passage, out to the northwest. There are several islands out there nobody's done more than Ogolat from afar. I know you can do better.
Yeah, that's the only area where there are still challenges left, if memory serves. Which is why we have been avoiding them until now. I guess we now have a bit of a reason to go there, at the very least. Not bad at all. Now then, let's talk with our latest bounty hunter acquaintance about all of the bounties we have slain. Get a bit more money, then I guess then we can meet with Harkemeyer and be like, hey, Harkemeyer, buddy, old pal, sure, hope you don't mind me, you know, running through your manor a bit uninvited, maybe, potentially. I'm sure it's going to be just feature about that, you know, being a great and forgiving archmage. Yes, very likely. Very likely scenario, I know. Actually, right, we can burn the stupid one first, can't we? Game? Could you let me? Yeah, let's just go to the sacred there. We still carry around... Actually, we have taken a corpse on a journey. She's in my inventory as a corpse. I hope she hasn't been, you know, continuously rotting in there. That would probably kind of mess up my backpack or something. What hell? Actually, what is the property of a bag of holding? Will it just keep it fresh? Because technically speaking, my stash is a bag of holding, a very large one. I would assume that she's still as fresh of a corpse as she was before, I guess. Never really thought about that too much, honestly. Most people don't really ask the question like, so what's the bag of holding doing if I put a corpse in there? The sort of question no one wants to ask now, is it? But I think food and stuff stays fresh, so technically shouldn't be a problem.
You there? What are you doing?
I think just disposing of some garbage. No, let's make this grande. Ways past, like to commit her body to the flames.
Muhai?
The priest calmed, the manner shattered by his utterance. He glances around you both.
Do you know what you do? This woman you carry, she cannot receive such rights. You risk the queen's anger.
Who are you now?
Muhai has broken with Wahana. The queen has forbade that any should have contact with her. Akira? She would be banished to the Undercity if not for her sickness. And now that has finished her.
What does it mean?
Akira, how to say? The sharing that is right among our people. Each of us, in what way we can. It is the role of the Mataru to guide, to protect. A group of the Wapua came to seek Muhai's counsel, for she was known as a great navigator. Muhai was of the Oweki before she came to Nekataka. The Oweki and Wapua were enemies for many years, before Queen Onekaza's time. Muhai misled the hunting party, and they were lost. All of us are Kahanga now. To harm Wapua is to harm Oweki. As Muhai turned her back upon her kin, so we were commanded to turn ours upon her.
I see. Understandable.
The queen would have us join our tribes into one raised fist. She could not let Muhai's crime stand.
So it was a political decision.
I say it was done for the good of our people. The traitors, they make war upon themselves. Each dousing another's flame, they are reduced to embers.
I would kindly disagree, because I still going pretty damn strong, but nonetheless.
And I say your queen is a shrewd leader. You should consider yourselves fortunate.
That is indeed enough. Well, she let alone. Isn't that enough, kinda?
So too did she act on her own, against her own people. She does not deserve the honor of walking with the gods.
But the gods are not in much trouble. There's no honor to be had.
It is said that you are sworn to Rikuhu, to Berath. Do they speak false? This is dangerous talk.
For fuck's sake, I'm getting blackmailed into helping some being that claims to be a god. You know how that feels? Painful. You know how often I just sit on my little ship, sailing the nice sea, thinking nothing bad, and suddenly get summoned into the realm of absolute nonsense to be talked down to again and again. I also do kind of remember that the first time we met, I was like, nope, not gonna help you, she just murdered me, alright. One hell of a game, man, yeah?
Come. Give me the body. I will bury her beyond the great city walls. It is the best that I can do.
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is a problem. I mean, I don't really want to piss off the queen. I haven't really met her yet, so pissing off right off the start is probably not a good idea. Yeah.
I will do as promised. Thank you, outsider. The Wapua have their justice, and the Queen's law stands.
Yeah.
You have done the right thing.
Also, you know, it's probably taking another strong warrior away from one of the gods, so yeah, I can kind of get behind that.
I hear your talk. Who has turned your heart against me? The priest? Has he forgotten who we were? Never before would a member of the Awiki have been left to die alone.
Well, apparently it didn't really went with the times, did you know?
I upheld my tribe's honor, and for that I was abandoned. Left to waste away, to hobble around my home with only maps for company.
Yeah, you kind of brought that on yourself, didn't ya?
Now I will be buried like a secret. Never to know Magran's favor.
Well, Magran never really cared for any of us, so, you know, find your own way from here.
A curse upon you, Watcher. May your life's path curve upon itself. May you lose your way on the wheel.
Yeah, no worries there. The gods will probably be very much having fun once I actually join that wheel. But you know, I mean, it's the fucking law. If your queen demands it to be so, then standing against that is really not a good decision. Also, you know, it's one thing if you challenge them, you know, outright and be like, I'm going to fight you fair and square. Giving out wrong navigation, why is it just a coward's way?
Candles and bombs.
Don't give a shit about your opinion. You go burn in hell or whatever place the not ritualistically murdered people end up with. Apparently that woman did not really understand how the world runs. Too bad, so sad. Yes, very so. Moving me to tears, basically. Reminds me that I need to write something down, because I need to remember to buy some more berries for this fine evening. But later to come, our next great quest in collecting all the berries in the lands of a star ocean, indeed. But it's, of course, for another hour. A late hour, to be completely fair and honest. When we find out. Now then, Nungati, where am I?
What say,
Oh,
Hunter?
I murdered someone for you. Here's head.
Snakes are difficult clients, I say. But I think mine will be very satisfied.
Sounds like a fucking, you know, innuendo.
Good work, Hunter. You must be in good health to survive Visali's poison.
Yeah, didn't worry me much. So, on this?
I have an unusual challenge, seeing as the target is already dead. They call him the Steel Preacher. In life, he was a devout Magranite with a pet construct.
And in death, he's apparently construct.
Rather than accepting death and passing through Tangaloa's jaws, he paid an animancer to stuff his soul inside his metal pet. Now he is a metal terror, purifying travelers in flame.
Yeah, we met
The
that one.
trail of his destruction ends on an isle due south of Fort Deadlight.
Well, it's dead. He is dead. Give
Always
money.
better to die clean than meddle in soulcraft, I say. Ugh. I hope the holy man takes a lesson to his next life.
I'd be not too sure. People who have a punishment for doing such nonsense will probably continue to do so. But hey, more bounties.
Uamoru is my final assignment. This one is a special request from high places, Akira. Uamoru is a pretender to the Kahanga throne. He thinks himself deserving of Serpent's crown, and is not above killing to wrest it away. One of the flowers sprouting from his head must have pierced his brain.
Well, who knows?
His small but spirited resistance makes port on an island east of Magran's Teeth. Steer clear of his lion. They say that beast has a killing bite.
Yeah, not so much actually. Well, one rebellion cut off the route here.
Then the
Go
gods
ahead.
truly did not want Tuamoru to lead the Kahanga. Pity he learned the hard way.
Well,
You do good work, Hunter. But the bounties have dried up. That is a spring which time always replenishes in its course, I say.
well, there will always be need for people ruthlessly murdering other people. Hey, we can get money out of it, so not really against that. That only leaves him, I guess. And this one. Actually, can I see the world map from here? I can't. Can't really do that yet, because she's still in the palace for like a year at this point. Do we turn to talk to Lengraf inside the Hall of the Unseen? I guess first we're gonna talk with Arkamaya. See what the mage has to say about my impromptu invasion of his home. Well, either he's going to attack us, which would be all fine and dandy, or he's going to give us an annoying quest to redeem ourselves. I'm assuming either or in this particular case. We'll see. Now, is he going to be in front of his manor, inside of his manor? I wonder. Not that there's much left in that manor, mind you. All of his servants are dead. And all of the lootable valuables have been taken, of course. Reboot. Make faster game. Well, yes, it's better to save the game just in case it actually does turn into a fight. Mages are paid to fight. Let's put it mildly. Hossa. Oh, there he is. Pretty lantern.
I trust you had no trouble finding the place.
Nope, no trouble at all. Sighing, Akamai glances up from a roll of parchment. He takes up a quill and draws several lines across a calendar entry, digging the nib hard enough that scratching fills the silence.
Nekitaka is either a testament to the ancient Huana's love of labyrinths, or their hatred of straight lines.
He grimaces and rearranges several of the objects situated around his desk. Well, let's be all, sagely about it. Age, not one has set the bone of the city at crooked angles.
Sadly, I did not invite you here for a discussion of city planning.
Well, too bad.
I warn you to stay your hand and treat with me better than you did poor Consulate.
Suppose to study your reaction with interest. Well, to be fair, Consulate twice didn't give me much of a choice. Sighing, he wraps his knuckles on the top of his desk.
Glengrath, gone as well. Your dealings with the Circle are stained darkest crimson.
They say after Killer's third Archmage, the force is free.
I wonder. But let us get to the business of the hour, shall we?
Yes.
My estate was recently burgled. My vault breached.
Like, I know, I was one who burgled it.
How very pleasing to hear an honest admission.
What can I say?
At the Circle's behest, I'm expected to show restraint in these dealings.
Nails dig into the armrest of his chair. Tearing sound fills the silence between you. He's pissed off, alright.
If you imagine that imp blood is easy to remove from carpet, I invite you to clean up after yourself.
I mean, you have steel construct for that, don't you? I'm pretty sure they're not gonna get tired from cleaning a fucking carpet.
I am less pleased about the Harappo epic resting in the hands of those who lost it once before.
I actually have nothing to say about it because, well, you know, it's not who founds it, just the rightful owner first and foremost. He found it, so it's his.
The Circle of Archmagi wishes for us to put this unpleasantness in the past with a gesture of good faith.
Well, if your Circle of Archmagi wouldn't be such a pain in the ass every single time I meet them, maybe they wouldn't end up dead all the time. Surprising, isn't it, how that works? I'm meeting up with Consulate. Twice, he's like, I'm going to murder you. I'm like, okay, try. Then he fails. You can't really blame me for it. Lingra 2 was most unpleasant little lady about it. I think, you know, that whole using dragons and doing nonsense was nice and all. The part where she wanted to murder me was not so nice. So, go on.
The Circle has expressed concerns about a certain mobile deity.
Yeah, giant Ardor statue. Kinda on the chase for that one.
The Deadfire is a fragile place, and a blundering soul drain like Aethys can damage more than just castle keeps.
Well, yeah, but you know, the fact that it has damaged a certain castle keep is, you know, the whole point why I'm kind of pissed off of him. Well, you know, the Deadfire will be pretty damn lucky if any of its readers endure this long walk of his.
Indeed.
I know. Smart.
It isn't our desire that you apprehend the deity. That simply isn't practical.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna find handcuffs that particularly big, actually.
We need your help in preparing for the worst possible outcome.
My presses his thumb down on a spider crawling across his desk. Zapata pulls back with delight, apparently.
Normally, the Circle's involvement constitutes the worst possible outcome. Or have you already forgotten the Blackwash Falls incident?
Kalakoth replaced the water. What more do you desire? An apology?
Well, give me the details for the moment.
The wizard Bikana installed an observatory due northeast of Nekataka.
I know, I was there
For your
recently.
absolution, the Circle asks that you locate her research.
And I mean, I am a bit of a mercenary Leonhard, so as long as I'm compensated for the work.
Were the spoils of my estate too meager?
Pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, fuck you too, that wasn't really much.
Fair warning. A vessel flying the sigil of the Torn Bannerman set a course for the observatory. I have every reason to believe they travel armed.
Yes, you know, mercenaries will probably, of course, travel unarmed, because why the fuck wouldn't they? Sure. Mad muscle, the expensive kind, yeah.
Did I inquire after your personal history?
You did not. I'm just giving you my expertise.
My interest begins and ends at a single point. That someone of great means desires abandoned arcane research.
Yeah, I can even tell you who that was.
Research which we disregarded.
Yeah.
Come back alive. Or not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I have a manor to restore, and a household staff to replenish.
Have fun with that, asshole.
If you require directions to Bikana's observatory, look to your sextant.
I could. I have questions. Well, how about you tell me about yourself?
I'm a member of the Circle of Archmagi, for better or worse. And yet I had to open a shop to make up the exorbitant cost of relocating my estate across the known world.
So, why did you settle down in Nekataka?
Why, indeed. The Circle is invested in the region, and someone must oversee it all at once. I drew the short straw for this unfortunate decade.
Oh, why did you bind imps into servitude?
Their antics amuse me, and I have no patience for the shortcomings of supposedly intelligent kith. Next question.
Back to my previous questions.
Speak on.
Well. I mean, you already were there, but apparently we need to do something more there. I suppose. Otherwise the quest would be finished at this point, because we have kind of murdered everything that was in there. And I guess it is about high time that we actually speak with the queen. I've kind of kept her waiting for, like, you know, a year or so. That also should open up talking with the captain in the
I admire you, Shoti.
Citadel.
For holding to your beliefs, even against the wishes of your superiors.
You really mean that? Because I thought you didn't much like me.
I mean it. It took me entirely too long to learn to do the same.
It's one way of saying it, little love. Well, I can't go to the palace. Oh well. Not that you could fucking miss that building, it's fucking giant. Sitting at the highest point. Must have been a pain to build this one though. Imagine having to bring the materials up all the way the hill to build this. Some poor fuckers had to carry that, I suppose. Really, who knows? They do have, you know, a bit of a caste system going on, so maybe they have a whole fucking cast of workers ready and willing to do their work. Back-breaking work, though it is. Alright, this one has an upper and a lower floor, doesn't it? Maybe we find something to steal. In good old-fashioned RPG manner, of course. Well, apparently these people don't want to talk with me.
He pays coin to feed the great eel. He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati.
Does Barati now.
You are a woman who sits across a fire with death. Akira?
Well, I mean, yes, the Pellet Knight and I are on familiar terms, somewhat.
For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment.
Another mountain jump.
Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira?
Yes, not.
Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the dreaming lands never know famine.
Well then, what bounties do we have available?
Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Ardra in sacred lands.
Already dealt with.
With joy, not hunger, does the great eel lash its mighty tail. Dichila has sated the beast for now.
Well then, let's overfeed that beast until it explodes. What bounties more?
The jaws of Tangaloa gnash about a Rawatayan captain named Ohairo. His cannon fire echoes in the ears of slumbering gods. The beast cries out for a more restful deadfire.
Already done and dealt with.
Akira, and the seas grow quiet while Tangaloa grows fat on outsider meat.
More bounties?
The great eel swims toward Rafik, the Redbeard. But the Principe captain outpaces even the gods. Rafik sinks Juana's ships for joy and plunder. This cannot stand.
Well, don't worry, it doesn't.
Tangaloa relishes any good meal. But I say justice makes for a savory
Tangaloa is overfed. Can't move any longer.
Served up a mighty feast, and the great eel's belly swells for a time. Until it hungers again, Barati's work is done.
Nice. Well, easy enough to be dealt with that nonsense.
Why not?
Well, I guess we can at least open the lock.
Swapped and sparkling, Captain.
But let's not steal, because that gets me into really troublesome situations.
My brothers and sisters have set sail for Neketaka.
I thought the tribes needed them to calm the weather.
A greater storm surrounds this place. We must answer the call of the Kahanga.
Steal some things.
God will surely do it for them.
I mean, you know, nobody's gonna miss anything or suspect anything. It's not like suddenly strangers show up, lock themselves in a room, then things start disappearing, they come out again. Though everybody else is like, that's strange, but they can't be deceived, now can they? Of course not. Logic. Game logic at its finest. Oh, look, we get a little cutscene. From the wrong angle, mind you, because, well, technically speaking, we entered from, the stairs to our left.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
Middle-aged woman with a square jaw and star-stained teeth meets it.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
He pulls a slender pipe from her pocket. A look from the queen's at as she puts it away.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
Look, it's the most pleasant of situations. Politics. Politics are going to ruin everything, aren't they? While that lady can't smoke her pipe, I can smoke my pipe just fine. Ha! Take that. Sizable Amoa, standing by the throne, takes a bold step forward and flares his nostrils at the assembled dignitaries. A hush falls over the room.
I say our guest forgets himself.
He clears his throat and sweeps his gaze from Nero to the rest of the room.
Brother, stand down.
Up to this point, the queen has studied the proceedings with an even expression. She half rises from her throne as she fixates on Prince Arui P.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
As Ori lowers his head, the queen slowly centers her gaze on you and leaves it there.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
Her mouth doesn't open. Manakaza's voice comes to you like an insistent memory nestled among the surface thoughts. Well, let's shrug.
Akira, I will take uncertainty over many alternatives.
Okay.
Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves.
Oh boy.
This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
Okay, let's first take stock of the audience, whoever to deal with. The Valley Nero projects affluence with his fine garb and gems. Karu the Rotonian Hazanui stands rigidly. Virginia simply through slitted eyes. She seems like someone who rarely leaves her back to her door. Mikaza the Wuana Queen is all ease and comfort, or something Nibiru speaks of quite measured intensity. The brother standing away from proceedings cannot hide a satisfied grin. This after all appeals to him. Oh, how did you know I'm a watcher?
She has a keen eye, my sister. Keener than your shooter's bird, Hazanui.
Don't listen to Amishi.
Among her other qualities, the Kahanga Queen can speak for herself.
Ooh, great, you now know how to use a mouth. That's something. Want to take candy for your efforts? Let's get all romantic. There's no time for this. Mayos went to the Ashen Maw in Marron's teeth, so I must follow. Silence descends on the hall. Well, my delivery was maybe a bit weak. Precious and Delegator eye one another, seemingly guarding which of them will be first to laugh. Stern look from Queen. Onikaza turns every questioning lens to stone.
From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magrin's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more interesting territory.
That it does, doesn't it?
And from there? Your Highness, we must address this threat immediately. The Valian Trading Company's interests are at risk.
Lives have been lost, Cantanichesi. Let us think of them before we concern ourselves with your return on investment. How a
Good
man
point.
speaks during crisis shouts his priorities.
He's quite literally part of a trading company. If he doesn't scream highly and mightily about profits, he's the wrong guy for the job.
In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magrin's teeth. Embellished sailors' fables, Akira. but not without some truth. My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient warriors hammered to life on Magrin's
Oh
anvil.
god, it's those Hammertime Bros again, isn't it? For fuck's sake, you thought I left those behind in the fucking White Marches or somewhere.
Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magrin's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight.
Yeah, well, actually I was surprised, but yeah, I named my ship like this, didn't I? Let's completely ignore this.
If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other.
Even in a time of crisis, you seek to recruit agents to pursue your own ends.
On the contrary, we need someone who can get things done around the Brass Citadel. And this Watcher is exactly that kind of person.
Well, if you pay me, yes, very much so.
Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Raotai stands ready to aid the Watcher. If she's going back into the wilds, she can't bring too much firepower.
Ma'am.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
Great, so she can tell me about the fucking unbelievable big Adra statue when it tries to, stomp me.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Yeah, I can absolutely understand that statement though.
Perfecto. Do you mean to stop Iotas by shooting him? Seri Palagina will go with the Watcher, show her how the Republics handle things.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Well, I'll take her. It's always good to have a rifle in hand.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a Green Boy's nose.
That's nice, but can you maybe potentially shoot a giant statue too? That would be more helpful in this particular circumstance.
You're making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
That might be true, but the help you offered has been apparently banished. And the last time we met her, she was like, well, I have my own shit to deal with. Sayonara.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually. In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
Yeah,
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Best of luck in your travels, Watcher. I think you'll find our troubles a good deal more complex than a blundering god.
Oh, don't worry.
Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
Yes, if I would trust any of those fuckers.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
Very sorry to say, but my trust in those people is,
Watcher, while we have the chance.
Can I go for a bit of an exploration of your little palace first? There could be more stuff to steal, That's important. Also, I can now go to the Brass Citadel and actually, now, steal some shit. You met a tall, brown-haired man dressed in full plate mail. That might not normally catch your eye, but his mane is unusual. Call it a deep green, and emblazoned with the image of a golden tree. And on the pommel of his sword, he watches the crowd go by with keen eyes. Relaxed, yet fully alert, he narrows his eyes when he spots you.
What do you need of me? Well?
Well, tell me about yourself. He's initially hesitant, unsure of your intent. Eyes narrowed, seizes you up, then nods. Interesting armor you have there.
I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order.
Well, yeah, we're basically a brother order to my own order.
Word of our order travels far then. Good.
Just that we're the better ones, because we're actually doing the mercenary part of it.
I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Well, can you teach me what you've learned as a member of the Shield Bearers?
Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. But I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however.
Yeah, not a problem. Here you go.
Well, thanks.
Place 2 heavy sandbags on your shoulders and runs you through a series of drills designed to increase your strength and agility. Well dressed in full plate mail. It sounds like a punishment, alright. Confident you've learned enough to continue training on your own? He gives you a hearty clap on the shoulder and wishes you well on your journey. Well, more training is always good. Well, we have much there.
Ado, Watcher. Clearly you are an interesting woman to know.
Yes, and you don't know me, so why the fuck are you talking to me? Questions. Very important questions. So that looks, you know, pretty fucking impressive on one end, but also pretty damn fucking useless. The scan, yeah. Sunsguard Warner glances up from the rumpled sheet of parchment in his hands and regards you with unease.
A Tepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else.
What brings a cartographer to the court?
I recently had the pleasure to rediscover, if I am honest, one of the lost sanctuary islands.
Well, tell me about those sanctuary isles.
Our ancestors marked off specific islands across Deadfire as rallying points in case a great misfortune split up the tribes. Even they could not have guessed how important the isles would become. Some thousands of years ago, volcanoes, storms, and quakes shook the archipelago. Any one of those do happen, but never with such ferocity or all at once. The Huana survived by taking shelter on the Sanctuary Isles to save our society, and not just any one tribe. Since those days, we have not found any of the old Sanctuary Isles. Ngati took some beneath the waves, taking whole tribes with her. Others were lost to time and forgetfulness.
For some reason, people still like Ngati totally cool. Apart from the fact that she murdered half your population, but well...
I am told that the Wahaki are protective toward the Isles, but that is their business.
Oh, how did you make this discovery?
I was surveying the waters around an atoll when a storm dragged my ship off course. The waters were unknown to me. When a green fleck appeared in my spyglass, I unfurled my sail. The shore twisted around itself, confusing even this old navigator until I found myself at the center. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs of habitation. Marking my coordinates and orienting myself by the evening sky, I made for Nekitaka to tell the crown of my findings.
You can't imagine that entire tribes were lost.
Understand, the Deadfire was broken. The lives lost could not be counted. And more has been forgotten than may ever be remembered. Imagine how much history we lost in a single year, much less the millennia that followed. Whatever our people hoped for themselves, we may never know if we got it right or wrong.
Well. Who cares? You're still alive. That's a good start. If I was venturing to this island in particular, what might I find?
Death.
Wow, that's a statement.
I did not mean to frighten you. These islands have known great tragedy, and millennia have passed in cheerless silence. Should you land on a sanctuary isle, do not expect to find welcome.
Yeah, I'm kinda used to that, actually.
Death. Should you land? If we must.
Ah, you mean Motare Yokozi. Yeah, we already were there. You must have seen much on your travels. Have found a sign of Ukaizo?
There is not a Huana in all of the Deadfire who does not take to the open water hoping to catch a glimpse of the lost Ukaizo. If I could walk the beaches of our ancestors, take a fleeting glimpse of what they left behind, mine would be a life well lived.
So I could take you there, let you take a glimpse, and then slit your throat, and you'd still be like, I'm happy to have died like this. Great. What would you hope to find there?
The same thing we all hope for. Answers to the long silence that precedes our history. Who we were could tell us who we are.
Yeah, it could point to some very dark nonsense.
But if I am being selfish, maps, charts, Our ancestors were keen explorers, and a roll of their parchment could teach us more than what we have gathered in the last century.
Yeah, but as I said, there's a lot of things you don't really want to know. Anything else about
not deny curiosity.
No. And nothing else. Okay, now I can talk to the brother, and I guess then I can talk to the queen. Actually, I think the queen is usually on the rooftop, isn't she?
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
Huh, how's that?
You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
Well, they don't seem to take your rivals very seriously.
How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds? I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. Ikira, but I hear whispers that you visited the Hazanui's Adra lighthouse and survived.
Well, amongst other things, you'd be surprised how resilient I can be if I want to.
Too much has happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden. Only, be kind to her cats.
Yes, cats? My interest is actually there.
If you have questions, the royal brother will hear you.
Well, I have a question about you and the now.
Both topics I know well.
Well, I imagine so. Like, tell me about yourself. I'm not too knowledgeable about this particular topic. It seemed rather strange. Anything, what do you think of sisters?
We agree on much, I say. The prosperity of the Huana, our burden to appease the gods. In the trading companies, Onikaza sees Worika testing us, weighing who deserves the Isles. I see Ngate sending krakens of gold and iron against our ship, but arming us with a single harpoon.
So you kind of disagree on that. You don't seem to think much of the trading companies, honestly.
My sister has mastered the diplomat's tongue, and I am foolish to give her frustrations a loud voice. But Ikera, I pray every day that Ngati tests the outsiders against her tallest waves and longest serpents.
Yeah, much love for the trading companies, I see. Oh, you and Onikaza represent the Kahanga tribe.
Akira, as the largest and most prosperous of the Deadfire tribes, the Kahanga have some authority to speak for the others.
What you're implying is that you do not have absolute authority, which is kinda strange, considering that your sister, the queen, should, well, you know, as is common for royalty, have the absolute authority.
I say Onikaza and I are large stones in a tide pool, standing tall as the water rises to our necks.
So how does the caste system work in
It is
Ikataka?
the same in the city as anywhere in the Deadfire. Mataru judge our souls at birth and organize us for the survival of the tribe.
Seems idiotic still, but well, okay.
I'm not the first to say it, but Nekataka has more walls than beaches, more roads than clearings, and more people than fish.
Well, it's a large city, of course it has.
Nowhere in the city does a Raparu sit around the same fire as a Mataru. Nekataka tests our traditions, I say.
And you don't see that as a contradiction.
What man or woman of the Isles does not?
Yeah, okay.
Our ancestors built this place. We are the hermit crab who occupies a fallen shell. It is for my sister and her priest to judge the fit.
Okay, so do you know anything about Okaizo?
My sister would say that Ukaizo is the birth canal of the tribes, and we are destined to return and discover ourselves again.
That does not make sense, because that would be, in your own metaphor, mean that you crawl up your own mother's... Let's not go there.
Ask Onikaza if you would know more. She is the family historian. I am the family arsenal.
So what was that argument
The
about?
trading companies beat their chests and howl at each other.
It's that trading companies,
Business and
of course I
conquest
do.
speak louder than hospitality.
Yeah. The trading companies, they see a rich land full of stuff that they can trade. You'd be amazed just how much that is going to get the fire lit.
If we are lucky, the truth of Hasango will quiet their tempers for a fortnight.
Yeah.
While you are in Nekataka, maybe you are interested in making yourself useful.
You have any problems with loyalty lately?
Nekataka is a city of friends, I say.
Yes,
We
of
exchange
course.
so much between districts.
Of course. Friends, yeah.
Even my sister's advisors dine at the officers' lounge and indulge at the wild mare.
I take it you prefer friends to make close.
Here in Serpent's Crown, I can guarantee safety. But cavorting with outsiders, Akira, that is open water.
You have enough water inside this fucking palace. I could probably drown a good amount of people in here.
A helpful warning, Herald of Bereth. From one friend to another.
And I mean, I could use some extra coin, won't you?
Akira, to patch a hull or stitch a sail is costly when supplies come from distant islands. The city has honest work for those in need, I say, and insists that everyone carry a heavy purse.
So, what kind of loyal soul did you have in mind?
My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka.
Tell me.
But the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. You have some knowledge of Nekataka already. They say you have explored the city beneath the city.
Oh yeah, like a million years ago we did.
Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Raparu for their silence? How do they avoid the inspectors? Who is responsible? This cannot have gone unseen by all.
Oh. I want to piss off the Principe. I mean, I kind of want to, but yeah. Sure, let's go to the Principe of smuggling cargo by the Undercroft.
Undercroft. A darker, more fetid layer of Nekataka, I say. Onikaza and I are the mind and heart of the city, but the bowels, these we cannot reach. At least Delva's Row is a stable target. The Crown has time to decide the next steps.
Well, for what it's worth, I do kind of think that it should remain untouched.
What say? You hit upon my curiosity. Speak on.
Well, I mean, you're not barely in control of their lives as it is. Don't take this away from them. So you will quite literally starve.
You are quick to come to their defense, but the Raparu must recall their place in society. If the black market will expend its resources toward the Raparu, then I say they have bought an easy truce.
Yep.
Delva's Row is safe for now. Be sure that I do not regret this.
Well, also, you know, water shepherds were helping the pirates.
I had my suspicions, but I had no wish to see them confirmed.
Yeah, interesting to see how your little caste system breaks itself, isn't it?
When it comes to the dignity of the guild, the Crown can compromise nothing. Onikaza will see their leadership disciplined, I say.
You know, they must have needed the money. Can you imagine why?
Akira, I cannot. Onikaza and I both expect more from the guild, I say. She will not be pleased. Akira,
I need to imagine so.
But at least you return to me in one piece. You are not the first agent I sent to the gullet, but you are the first to return.
Yeah, I mean, we'd already did all of this, you know, like very, very, very long ago.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the gullet, but...
Go on.
Does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you?
A lost city, if local fables are to be believed.
Fable? No. History, I say.
The difference is pretty easy. A fable as long as we don't have any proof. It's history if you can actually find proof. All of you people are just like, well, it's written in our oral traditions. That's not much.
Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the dead fire.
Yeah, we know.
That is the story. Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo.
Aye, along with every other bare-masked, bilge-brained treasure on a twixt here and Old Valia.
Pretty much, yeah.
I've known sand crabs with a firmer grasp of a Darren, I say. Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo, and the knowledge that we must return.
Yeah.
To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say. I sent an expedition to Matario Kozi, one of the sanctuary islands.
You did, yeah.
They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return.
Yeah, because they're dead.
Akira, but do not leave me in suspense.
Your expedition never made it off of Matario Kozi. I'm sorry.
I sent good women and men to die in the name of the tribes and in the vague hope.
Well, yeah.
May Ngati thank them for their courage and Wodaka for their loyalty.
Could you stop thanking the gods every bloody second sentence? You annoy me. Oh, fuck it.
What of their findings, Watcher? Did they recover anything? Anything about Ukaizo?
Yeah, I mean, there is a navigational chart.
An unusual accounting of the isles, I say. Each one measured in relation to
Well, do you have what you need to find Kaizo?
If I did, my sister would hold a parade in your honor.
I hope so.
Ngati is one to throw obstacles in our path, but I say that an outdated chart is better than none at all.
Well, you know, sailing uncharted waters isn't cheap.
Ikera, here, for your expenses. When we know enough, my sister will finance a fleet-wide search. Not for breadcrumbs, but lost to Kaizo.
Well, the back clause was a message from the Bahiki to deterring visitors.
For what do they protect Matario Cozy, when its knowledge could help all Huana?
Probably for a good reason.
One day I will have words with their Ranga to settle our differences.
Let's not mention that we actually destroyed your original, shall we? And nothing more to report.
This is much to learn in a day, even for this warrior. I sent the expedition to their fate, and those who followed. Death is on my conscience this day.
Well, she's never on mine either, mind
May
you.
all who fell on Matario Cozy slip through the eel's jaws. Huana and outsider alike. But on to brighter times, I say.
Yay,
if
brighter.
Kaizo can be found,
Ooh.
then so too will the hopes of our people be made manifest.
You really put a lot of hope into Kaizo.
Too much
Don't
has
you?
happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden.
Well,
Only, be kind to her cats.
then the pleasure
You
weapon of
say
you.
this now, but Onikaza pays better than her royal pinch fist of a brother.
Let's hope so. Your payment has been rather light so
May
far.
the wind caress your sail.
If the wind fucking molests my sail, I'm going to punch the wind in the face. Then again, you know, to some degree I do need it. Some molestation shall be allowed. Minimal amount. Smallish. Now then, let's meet those cats. Through the queen, I want to meet the cats. The cats are more important. Come on, game. No faster. There's supposed to be cats here. Well, looks fancy. Ah, well, those are your cats. Elder tigers, eh? Oh, they look rather relaxed. Can I pet you? No, I cannot.
It is high time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court.
Aha. I do see a pair of tigers lounging indulgently beside your seat.
My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa. It is to them that I answer when dignitaries do not pound at my door.
Spets the head of the mess of tigers, smiling as they lean into the gesture. I'm not going to ask if you mean that in a literal way, as in you are mother to these two, but I do like your taste.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd be honored to pet your children.
Move in to pet them. The tiger raised their heads to observe you, each heavy breath wafting the lingering scent of recent meal. And you gesture with indifference. The queen nods with approval.
My brother speaks of your journey from Matario Cozy.
Well, yeah.
Mostly, he mourns the loss of his expedition.
Yeah, kinda sucks. But, well, we found some shit. That'd be great.
Scholars pore over your findings as if a charcoal rubbing could build a bridge to Ukaizo. I have learned to restrain my optimism.
Well, then have you learned the first very important lessons, namely that optimism is not going to keep you going, especially not for long.
A messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom and change, I say.
Yeah, people do not ever get tired of reminding me that I'm a bitch to Barroth. I know. Can we now stop talking about it, please?
I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the dead fire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm to come.
So what exactly would you need from me?
What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of mind for now.
Meaning, precisely, put this into workable terms.
What do you know of my water shapers, Herald of Barroth?
Well, I know they gave Roatai no end of trouble in their early advance.
Akira, if you recall history, then you know why I am protective over the guild. My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of a war canoe is enough to send the fleet scrambling for the shallows.
Understandable, yes.
This reminds me. I owe the Hazanui a basket of koiki in remembrance of the Battle of Nakaroatl.
Well, poking the hornet's nest, are we?
That is Aruihi's job, but Akira, there is a side of diplomacy which I enjoy. While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent admirals plague these waters, I have summoned the masters of water shaping to Nekataka.
Yes, we met the guild already.
Now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Myru, but she does not answer my summons.
Do you think something might be wrong?
It's too early to grow a forest from this coconut, but I would not dispatch you if I felt at ease.
Why do I need to do all the work all the bloody time? That's
the
a
guild
wonder.
can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen would know the reason. Nagati, do not abandon us now.
I can hear your swords, little lady. Can't hide from me. Really can't hide from me, actually. I'm pretty damn good at reading swords at this point. Well then, another quest. If we hadn't enough already. Let's take a look, actually. Can I still need to do that? Can re-travel to Picarno's observatory, I guess. We can return to Brass Citadel. I guess actually gonna do this. We're gonna speak with the now hopefully available one. Actually, I can't go from here, can I? Yes, I cannot, of course. Stray cat. Find a young man with long blonde hair, drawn back in his simple club. Clothes are spare but well tailored. His armor, a fine brigandine in blue and silver, is polished to a shine. Leans casually to one side, a clean hand on his hip, and sighs. What? His eyes light up when he sees you.
Hello there! Come to have a word? I don't bite, I promise. Yes?
Tell me about yourself.
Gladly, my friend. Gladly. And how kind of you to ask. I am the youngest son of a noble house. Now, don't make that face. Poor, desperate fool, you must be thinking. Well, waste not your sympathies on me. Truly, I consider it a boon rather than a punishment. All the comfort and none of the responsibility. What's not to like about that?
Good point.
What else brings faraway travelers to the archipelago? Adventure. I've nursed a great love for heroic tales since my boyhood.
Yes, many boys.
As I was loafing about my father's estate, I thought, well, Gervard, isn't it time you made a name for yourself as well? So here I am. And though I dare say I'm little use in a fistfight, I can do a fair bit of magic and draw a lovely map. So I've taken to charting the interior wilderness of the Deadfire's larger islands.
That was pretty damn dangerous in its own right.
But it's worth it for the stories I'll one day have to tell. But truly, if I could only inspire others as I myself have been inspired by those old tales, why, it would be marvelous. Anyway, enough of my prattling. Surely you've other things to do.
Well, can you teach me what you've learned?
Oh, it would be my absolute pleasure. For a price, of course. 3,000 copper?
Yep,
Very well.
He pulls a collection of small maps from his pack and tells you the stories of the island as he understands them. Who has lived there and for how long, what beasts hunt their shadowed glades. Then he takes out his grimoire and shares some unusual magic knowledge he's picked up in his travels. At last, he stuffs the maps away, closes his grimoire with a snap, and bids you farewell. Another trading session done and over with. Not so good. There's no we can go down to the Brass Citadel and then... I guess they're gonna have a quest for us too, don't they? Probably will. After that... I wonder indeed. This is the way down, isn't it? And after that, I guess we would have a good opportunity to set sail again. Nekataka is, I find, best enjoyed in small portions. And technically speaking, we have a few things to do. Kinda have to meet with Lengrad in that Hall of the Unseen. Kinda have to go back to Burr something's observatory. I'm just happy that I regained console hout in my pocket. Being a nice little skull, that just shoots him fine, I'd say. Where would you be? The Fleet Master's office, I'm assuming? But hey, at least the gullet is not going to starve for the moment. No reason to be that inhumane, I'd say. See, the cast system just doesn't want to work. Now then, this thing
What I be
around
supposing we could swapped in sparkling, Captain?
that's not what I wanted to
The
do.
motherland will remember your service on the day of reckoning.
Well, the motherland hopefully doesn't do anything horrible to bring the day of reckoning closer. That would be rather enjoyable. Not too sure there. Remembering me is going to be good in that particular circumstance. Where the fuck would I have to go? Imperial Command? Maybe, potentially?
The Ranga Nui leads us, but he represents all.
Yeah, we don't care. We really don't care. You people have been busy bickering amongst yourselves for so long, I don't think I'm going to change much when it comes to that. Okay, the door's finally open, which means we can finally talk to that guy. Hazanui Karu paces near her desk, looking like a shark circling the shallows. She clenches a long, elegant pipe between her teeth, smoke trailing an acrid wake behind her. Actually, it's rather funny because you can walk into your own smoke wall. Happened to me once. Running around going poop, oh, smoky. She looks up when you enter and favors you with a brief nod of acknowledgement.
The former lady of Cadnua.
Still Lady of Cadnua.
Terrifier of harbor masters, if dockside tales are to be believed.
That was not my fault. Beradorn, all of its lonesome, decided to summon the spirits of the damned king on the harbor. Bitch move, if you ask me.
Other than Hasongo, you have not brought much good news of late.
Yeah.
So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters?
Things could be worse. At least it's not Skane.
Tell that to my dead at Hasongo. Just what the archipelago needs. One more disaster tugging at the seams.
True enough, isn't it?
He must be stopped.
Oh, he's a giant made of living Adra. That can absorb souls, mind you, in an instant. Got any ideas? Bright ones? Particular, you know?
Anything can be stopped with sufficient force.
Oh.
The problem is finding the will to deploy it. The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much. No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit.
What do you mean?
Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's Mortar. It's largely free of rough weather. Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest. It's a waste.
Well, yeah.
Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rawatayans we could feed with plantations here.
So what does it have to do with me?
You've got a way of charging into things full speed.
You don't say.
Some might call it reckless, but I consider it valuable. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal.
True
And if you're
enough.
going to survive here, then you could use an ally.
So, what do you have in mind? Get to the freaking point.
You've already helped us immensely at Hasongo. Once repairs are done, we can resume much-needed shipments from the farms back to Rawatai. It's also a welcome indication that someone around here can get things done.
Well, you could get things done if you people could get off your asses for once. But, you know, dreams. Indeed.
I hear
Memories
you
of-
recently traveled to Poko Kohara. Something you did there cleared the storms.
Hails a stream of smoke, tapping her cheeks thoughtfully with the stem of a pipe.
Makes a person wonder what kind of secrets lie in Andra's Mortar.
Oh, why do you say that?
Don't tell me you've never gazed at a horizon and wondered at what lies beyond.
That is pretty much what
Or
everyone
seen
does
a no
once or twice.
trespassing sign as a challenge.
Well, I suppose I have.
That's the spirit. Rautai's storms have made us who we are as a nation. Hardy, driven, inventive. But they've also held us back. Forced our people to seek resources and livelihoods far from our homes and families. Imagine how much more we could achieve if we could control those storms.
Well, do you think something in Ondra's Mortar will help you with that then?
Why not? The storms there cannot be natural. Not when they are so ferocious, so constant.
Well, yeah,
And
could
your
be.
exploits at Pococahara suggest that something else may be behind them. But enough of that for now.
Well, Zero said you needed my help.
There's an understatement.
Huh.
The trouble in Hassan
Okay,
forced us
okay.
to send additional ships back to Rawatai to make up for shortfalls. And storms at home have delayed another portion of our fleet. This leaves us short-handed here.
So what are you asking of me? Come on, get to
We're
the
due to
point.
collect a special shipment for delivery to our port at Sayuka. We've contracted with a captain named Widla. Meet her, complete the trade, and take the cargo to Sayuka. Fleet Master Okaya is overseeing the development of some special projects there. She's one of the brightest minds in Rawatai, and it shows. You two will get along. Most of her work is, or should be, under wraps for now. But perhaps she can give you a taste of what we have to offer.
So what's the shipment?
It'll be easier for Okaya to explain.
Whitlow and the crew, who are they?
Good sailors with a fast ship and no mind for questions.
Will to be flying Principe colours. On occasions, she ain't flying force. One of the young bloods.
Along with half the population of this storm-tossed archipelago.
So why don't you send Whittler's crew to Sayuka?
Let's just say, I'm not keen to invite them to a port where we're developing experimental technologies.
They're smugglers.
Along with half the population of this storm-tossed archipelago.
If it's a boat I can handle, what's next?
Whitla's agreed to meet our courier out at sea, away from the heaviest traffic. This is her payment. We've already negotiated with her. Fleet Master Okaya will see to your compensation once you arrive with the cargo. As a gold-packed knight, I trust you will execute this contract faithfully. Clear skies.
That's basically how I've been doing things. Mostly. Apart from when it becomes unforeseeably problematic, in which case I kinda disregard. Following a contract blindly is not a good idea, basically. Oh, but that means we have basically done all we can. At least here, that is. It's blocked. Of course it's blocked. Oh well. I think, however, this is a good time to bring it slowly to an end. I do kind of still have to do a nice little supply run for myself, as well as a nice little drop by the store to do some things. Before we can enjoy some, you know, evening entertainment. Yes. I guess that gives us a nice little point for starting the next time, of course. So yes, for the moment I will have to bid you adieu. Have a good one and all of that. And now let's go through the usual. As for easily named ones, we have none. So as for the rest, more lurking kind of people, do feel appreciated too. Pat yourself on the shoulder for a job well done. Yeah, I'll see you all again soon. As in, well, basically just a few hours. This fine evening. If I can actually manage it, I will try to squeeze in a little one extra in the middle, but highly depends on how things go. Sadly enough, that is a bit outside of my hands. Well, we'll see, we'll see. No matter what, we should be back this evening with a bit of Star Ocean and hopefully a handful of berries so we can, you know, further our berry supremacy evermore. Yes, yes. That in mind, have a good one and bye bye.